And how did you use that time just sort of in being ready to go here this weekend?
Yeah, I feel like for the most part, I haven't had like the best year statistically, but I've hit the ball hard to a lot of people, and if the fences were 5 feet shorter on every field we played, I think I would have had, whatever. It doesn't really matter.
Well, they're shorter here.
Yeah, exactly. No, we're excited for that, but no, I think we had a great season as a team as well, and I think that made it really easy for me to kind of just let go of my own stats, which is great, and I just ride the win streak of, not necessarily win streak, but the wins of the team. So I think we're all really excited to come out and show what we got.
How were the couple of weeks off? Did you benefit from that? Do you think you all did collectively?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we got to face the best pitching staff in the nation this weekend, and our pitching staff. So I think that definitely helped us. We got to rest a little bit, got to get in the weight room a little more than we usually would, and that definitely benefits us coming into this weekend.
Final thing, Easton, and that is this ballpark, as you've talked about. You don't have to get on a plane and go to Baton Rouge or Charlottesville or Lexington or Fort Worth. You're down on a bus, spent the night here, got up early and got ready for today. You've played in this park quite a bit. Just looking around, not much wind right now. I mean, how does it play? They moved the fences in 4 years ago, and the ball jumps and gets out a lot. But how does it play? How do you like hitting here? What's it like defending here?
No, I love it personally. I don't think any hitter would hate hitting here necessarily. The ball obviously flies a little bit better, but I don't think that's what our team is really thinking about. I think we're thinking about discipline and no ego approaches today. A little softer lefty today. We're not going to try to lift the ball much. We're just going to hit line drives on the barrel, and if it happens to be a miss in the air, and then it's going to have a good chance to leave. But playing here obviously is great too. Minor league ballpark, great atmosphere, and yeah, see the ball very well here.
Easton, thank you for the time as always. It's great to see you again, persevering through your whole career at Oregon State, and look forward to seeing you go out on a great note with everybody else. Thanks for the time as always.
Thank you. Go Beavs.
Easton Talt, my guest. We've got Mitch Canham still to come, the starting lineups and more from PK Park in Eugene, where the Beavers and Cougs meet one another. An ancient rivalry renewed in the postseason. It's great to have you with us on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Join us for the opening weekend of the Division I NCAA Baseball Championship as we bring you all the action on Learfield's Regional Rundown Show. From foul pole to foul pole, we'll cover every game with live play-by-play, highlights, and scores as they happen all weekend long. Live on the free Varsity Network app, join our crew starting Friday, May 29th as we go game to game across the 16 regional sites. Slide headfirst into the Regional Rundown exclusively on the Varsity Network app.
Play ball! Weyerhaeuser has operated in Oregon since 1902 and is proud to support local organizations and invest in the future of our communities. This is our home, where hundreds of our employees live, work, and raise families. And we're excited to support Beaver Athletics and our many Oregon State alumni making a difference across the state, in our forest, in our mills, and in our communities. Learn more at WI.com. Go Beavs!
As a locally owned company with 26 years in business, the Barbers are excited to support the Oregon State Beavers. Come in and get the works, a full-service experience including a precise haircut, relaxing shampoo, scalp massage, and a hot lather neck shave by the most experienced barbers around. When it comes to men's grooming, nothing beats a true barbershop experience. Come in and get yourself ready for game days. Book same-day appointments now online by visiting thebarbersonline.com. The Barbers, where guys go for great cuts.
If you have money, chances are you have questions. Like, how can my money earn more money questions? Or, hey, what's my routing number again questions? HELOC, APR, and IRA questions. Whatever your questions may be, bring them to your local Corvallis or Albany On Point branches, and we'll help you find the answers. On Point. People are the point. Proud partner of Oregon State University Athletics. Federally insured by NCAA. Equal housing opportunity.
The Beavers and Washington State from PK Park in Eugene. Mike Parker with Big Jim Wilson. It's time for our nutrition report, brought to you by Wilbur Ellis. One of the most popular breakfast foods among student athletes is broccoli. They probably had it this morning. That's right. The super nutrient-dense food broccoli helps an athlete go the distance. Our friends at Wilbur Ellis are helping nutritional crops like broccoli to increase nutrient absorption through innovative approaches. That's good news for the farmer and the athlete. Contact Wilbur Ellis today and chart your course for the winning ag experience. Big Jim Wilson, it's time to get to one of our favorite features in football and the games that we get to work together. And that is the Holland America Matchup History, presented by Holland America. Discover cruise deals at hollandamerica.com. The Beavs and Cougs have played each other a lot through the years. In fact, the Beavers all-time trail in the series, 235-220, with 3 ties. But I'm just, because you're here and I get to work with you at the Eugene Regional, the Beavs and Cougs coming up. In the matchup history, all the great games and series and competitiveness through the years, my favorite Beaver Cougar game ever, you played in it at Coleman Field in 1982. I'll let you take it from there.
Well, I'm pretty sure I know the game you're talking about. We were fighting the Cougars for the Northern Division title. We were playing a doubleheader. We won the first one. If we win the second one, we clinched the title. And we fell behind 6-0 in the second game of that doubleheader. The bases were loaded. I think there was 2 outs in maybe the 5th inning. And I was up, and I hit a grand slam home run. And so the score was 6-4. Steve Smith later hit a solo homer. We won that game. In the bottom of the 7th, Mickey Riley stole third base on his own, and the ball got loose, and he came in and scored the winning run. It was, and then we would just celebrate. We still had a weekend to play, but we had clinched the Northern Division. That was a great moment for me, and certainly for my team. And it turns out you were there.
I was there with your brothers Bobby and John, Yako. We've lost both John and Mickey since that time, but we were all there together on that memorable day, Jim, and your grand slam home run is still, I put Trevor Larnick, Bill Rao, and that grand slam in a small group of home runs hit by Beaver players that really were thrilling. So thank you for reflecting on that.
Yeah, those other 2 might have been in the College World Series.
Yeah, well, they were, but that was, for me at Coleman, to see you do that day with my dear friends, your brothers alongside. It's a memorable moment in my life. That's our matchup history. Discover Alaska with Holland America, a proud partner of OSU Athletics. See more glaciers in Alaska with Holland America than any other cruise line. Book your Alaska vacation today at hollandamerica.com. Here at PK Park, the public address announcer is introducing every member of the Washington State team taking their spots along the third baseline. The Beavers, the home team, and the 2 seed in the first base dugout will be introduced here momentarily. We will get to our starting lineups next. The Beavers and Cougs in the postseason in the Eugene Regional. The lineups coming up on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
The Rivalry Series is brought to you by Safeway Albertsons, Pacific Source Health Plans, your local Toyota dealers, and First Interstate Bank. The University of Oregon and Oregon State University want to thank each company for recognizing one of the longest-running sports rivalries in the nation. Ultimately, our student-athletes will benefit the greatest from their tremendous support. The Beavs and Ducks will continue carrying on their historic competitive tradition, going head-to-head across the season, bringing the Rivalry Series to life. Cheer on the Beavs this season to capture the Rivalry Series.
Singer blasts one to deep left field. It's on its way. So long!
Pacific Office Automation is an official sponsor of Oregon State Athletics. Let us help you create your total office solution with copiers and printers, security systems and cameras, managed IT and cloud services, unified communications and telephones, including carrier services, plus temperature sensing kiosks and more. The one source for all your office technology solutions. Go to PacificOffice.com. Pacific Office Automation. Problem solved.
At Builders First Source, we're proud to be the nation's largest supplier of home building materials with 14 locations across Oregon and Southwest Washington. Our team is driven to deliver for our customers and help tackle the toughest challenges on the job site. We offer expert advice as you shop our extensive selection of lumber, siding, windows and doors, roof and floor trusses, decking, pre-cut, ready frame, and more for your next project. Stop by our locations in Tangent or McMinnville or go to BLDR.com to find a location near you.
Hey, Beaver Nation! Experience the best of Alaska with Holland America, the Alaska vacation experts. They've been sharing the wonders of the Great Land since before it was even a state. Cruise a round trip from Seattle, no flights, no fuss, just Alaska right from your doorstep. Experience stunning ice blue glaciers guaranteed. Plus, look for humpback whales and brown bears with the cruise line that's #1 in Alaska wildlife and wilderness tours. Savor the journey with Holland America, the official cruise line of Oregon State University Athletics. Go Beavs!
Washington State.
It's time for the starting lineups presented by your local Toyota dealers. Your local Toyota dealers, proud sponsor of Oregon State's Road to Omaha. Visit Toyota.com or your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. Nathan Choate is the head coach for Washington State. Let's take a look at Nathan's starting lineup. Leading off in center field, Trevor Smith, a .317 hitter. Batting second at second base, Gavin Roy, the team leader at .372. Hitting third, left-hand hitting senior right fielder Max Hartman. Hartman with 8 triples this season, a Cougar record. The cleanup hitter, the designated hitter, Matt Priest, a freshman at .366. Batting fifth in left field, Dustin Robinson, a freshman hitting .268 with 6 homers. The team leader in homers for the Cougs, Ryan Shawnsby, batting sixth. At first base, he has 8 homers. Ollie Obenauer batting seventh at third base, a left-hand hitting senior. Cam McLeod, right-hand hitting catcher, hitting under the Mendoza line, has 3 homers. Batting ninth is Kyler Northrup, the shortstop, at .293. And redshirt sophomore left-hander Nick Lewis, 9-2, an ERA of 3.07, and red hot. We'll talk more about that as we go. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for Mitch Canham's Beavers. Leading off in center field, Easton Tolt. Batting second at second base, A.J. Singer. Hitting third, the designated hitter, Ethan Porter. Josh Proctor, the cleanup hitter in left. Adam Haight batting fifth in right field. Hitting sixth at third base, Paul Vasquez. Batting seventh and catching, Jacob Galloway. And now we pause as we get to the 8th hole hitter at first base. And we'll get to the rest of the lineup and the Beavers pitcher in a moment. But the tease from earlier in this pregame show, Jim, batting 8th at first base, Jacob Craig.
Yeah, against the left-handed pitcher. He hasn't had a start since all the way back March 21st. He started the first 18 games of the season, and I talked to Coach Gibson, said he just kind of, about a month ago, just kind of relaxed and adopted his role as a part-time player, and they thought, what better chance? He just got announced here, got a little bit of a cheer from the Beaver faithful. It's interesting because he has power potential, and if you can get hot, I mean, for everybody, just get hot late. Well, he's a guy, he can hit some home runs for you, and he plays good defense.
Last year in the postseason, he was a real guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
they got the big hit against Florida State, right. Hit it, just a mammoth homer in Omaha, and I teased it earlier. I like it. I like the idea. Obviously, the DH would be Hubbard and so forth, but it's the right-hander.
Jacob Craig batting 8th at first. Tyler Inge batting 9th at shortstop. And left-handed junior Ethan Kleinschmidt, 9-2, making his 15th appearance and start of the year. Jim, a quick thought from you on the pitching matchup. 2 left-handers, both 9-2.
Both 9-2. I will Nick Lewis has been hot as of late and has thrown 91 innings this year, whereas Kleinschmidt has thrown only 21. Both have good
71,
numbers. 71,
less, yeah.
But the strikeouts, Kleinschmidt up there around 88, whereas Lewis at 71, I believe.
Nick Lewis, 5 earned runs over his last 5 starts, and he's just red hot. He's won his last 5 starts. So it's a great pitching matchup. It is a wonderful Pacific Northwest, old-fashioned PCC Pac-8, AAWU Pac-10, Pac-12 matchup. The Beavers and Cougs coming up. Mitch Canham's thoughts about the little trip down the road and his team season next on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield. At Oregon State Credit Union, we weren't just founded in Beaver Country, we were born a Beaver and have been part of the OSU family from the start. And we're proud to be the official credit union of Oregon State University Athletics. Right now, you can earn a $300 bonus when you open any checking account. Get rewarded and bank where your Beaver pride runs deep. Join the credit union that was born a Beaver just like you. Open an account online at OregonStateCU.com/checking or visit your local branch. Federally insured by NCAA, limited time offer and some restrictions apply.
Hey Beaver Nation, here at Mr. Plywood we know what it means to build. Locally owned and operated for over 50 years, Mr. Plywood goes beyond building decks, storage sheds, and fences. We help build the community. We offer family-style customer service with a friendly and knowledgeable staff that will help you with your next project. If you need hardwoods, plywood, fasteners, or help planning your next project, come down and pay us a visit. We would love to help you on your next project.
Just like turning the perfect double play, you need to be in sync with the rest of your construction crew. So why is arranging childcare still the hardest part of your day? Enter Childcare for Construction. We help registered apprentices and new journey workers afford reliable childcare from a licensed provider or even a state-approved family member. Learn more at oregon.gov/BOLI/apprenticeship. When workers thrive, Oregon thrives. Go Beavs.
Hey Beaver fans, Oregon State's tradition of excellence is now a winning pairing with Willamette Valley Vineyards Classic Oregon Wine. As a proud wine partner of Oregon State Athletics, we invite you to join us at any of our locations for world-class Pinot Noir, Pacific Northwest-inspired cuisine, and one-of-a-kind events. Learn more and plan your visit at WVV.com. That's WVV.com. Go Beavs!
Our pregame show continues from the Eugene Regional. The Beavers and Washington State coming up. And I'm joined by Beaver head coach Mitch Canham. It's time to give the home team the advantage for all your homeowner needs. Turn to the Beaver home team in Wafet Bank. Check out OSUBeavers.com/home team to see what the Beaver home team can do for you. Go local and go Beavs. Coach, it's good to see you again. It feels like it's been a while. How have the last couple of weeks been for you and the guys, and waiting and wondering, and now here you are, just a little 40-mile trip down the road. How's it all been going?
It's been going great. We had our double play last weekend so we can get some scrimmages in, and you weren't out there for the water fight after Saturday's deal, but we had a ton of kids out there, so it was great. Getting a couple days to take care of the bodies, just everything. Kind of push pause, reset, get some extra rest, and then start prepping for this weekend. But for the guys to get out on scrimmage last weekend, I mean, each hitter, we played a couple days of 7-inning scrimmages and then a 5 on Sunday. Handful of at-bats. All the pitchers got touches. Put runners all over the bases, just to heighten it a bit. And then after the games, watching a movie with a lot of folks in the community. Watched Rookie of the Year, and then on Saturday had an autograph deal for everybody and meet the players, and then a big water fight. Which
did you participate?
I got whooped. I said last week, I go, the kids won. There's no doubt. I found a shield from a tub that I was using trying to protect myself, and I said, hey, if we could just keep the squirt guns, more than 6 inches from my face. But they didn't follow the rules on that one. They had a great time. Guys all participated and gave a couple of the youngsters the hose in the middle of the field and let them just go wild on some of the guys. But all in all, it's just been having some fun, building up, resetting, making sure that, physically and mentally we're in a good spot to go out and compete, the best spot that we could possibly be in. And so excited for, some of these guys to experience postseason baseball for the first time, and excited for some of these guys who have been there to go out and lead the charge.
Coach, the fact that we're conducting a a regional interview away from Corvallis. That in itself, I know you've been asked about it. We've all thought about it, and I think expressed feelings and thoughts about it. But I haven't had a chance to ask you on the record as you went into Sunday, knowing that the 16 sites would be announced. What was your thinking when you didn't see Oregon State come up? I mean, did you quickly move on from that? How did you handle that with your team?
You have to always move on. And like, when it's out of your control, what are you going to do? Do I believe wholeheartedly that we should be hosting a regional? Of course. I believe in what these guys have done in all areas of the game and how they've gone about their business, no doubt. But I also know that I only see really one team, and I focus all my thoughts and energy towards this club right here. Love studying other opponents as we play them, but really I'm tunnel vision and taking care of this program and making sure that each of these players is developing in the best possible situation for success here and down the road. But reality is when they make decisions about where everyone's going to play, all right, then let's go get it. You know, whether it's at home, 40 minutes down the road, or the complete opposite side of the country, there's a mission, and our job is to go out and compete and find ways to take care of the only stat that matters, the W.
You were part of a team that went a long way away from home in Charlottesville and won a regional and went on to go on and win the whole thing. Mm-hmm. This is a little easier trip than that, I can recall, and just driving down here. I don't remember driving to Charlottesville, Virginia, but you have that in your DNA. The Beavers do too, just in terms of, hey, it doesn't matter. And I thought your club all year long, Coach. I'm just wondering if you could reflect how proud you are of these guys and what they've done, facing the independent schedule and going 43-12 and being a top 10 team all year.
Yeah, what the pitching staff has done, incredible. Older guys, I mean, the numbers this season, the saves that Robles and Queen and Yeager have all done, to watch Hutch, touch the ball another 20-plus times in a season. I mean, that guy's had 90-plus appearances at the collegiate level, working out of the bullpen. To see Douglas take the ball and handle business each and every time, punching out a lot of guys, and some really big moments for us this year. And just some young guys on the offensive side, Proctor and Porter, the way those guys have handled a true freshman year, the arrival of Josh Nadai and the energy and enthusiasm he has coming in after Christmas break, which is difficult as it is to be a freshman, but to come in after everyone already spent the fall together, incredible. Never to forget all that we went through in the fall, team building, work, all those tight conversations, the one-on-ones, the team bonding functions, the togetherness that these guys have had, and then throughout the season to watch the defense be number one in the country with fielding percentage, and to have some rough things happen, whether it's Pike and Whitney, their injuries, but and Tyler, and that's those kind of things weigh on a group that's really close to one another. But the joy that we get to get out here and do this again today, and that we're going to fight our butts off because we want to be together as long as humanly possible.
And we close on today. You say you watch your team, but you played Washington State twice. You studied them up well for this game. What are your thoughts about what you're up against in them, and Nick Lewis in particular, their left hand?
Yeah, Lewis has had great numbers, strong success all year long. Attacks the zone, not a lot of freebies, got some deception to his stuff, and pitches very comfortably, and whether runners are on or not. And their offense, finds ways. They'll bunt, they'll run, they'll hit and run, they'll do all kinds of stuff. They got some offensive threats up and down the lineup. It's a strong ball club, and for them to go out and they just got done winning their tournament, and that says something. The 64 teams that are left, every single one of them is a quality club and dangerous. And so the teams that are coming in focused and playing high quality baseball, going to be the ones that get to play longest.
Mitch, we look forward to a long run again. Thanks for the time as always.
Thanks, Mike. Go Beavs.
Head coach Mitch Canham wraps up Beaver Game Day as we get ready for the first pitch. The Beavers in Washington State in Eugene. It's kind of an odd juxtaposition of old Pacific Northwest rivals, but it is what it is. We're glad to be here. Glad you've joined us. The first pitch next on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield. Whether it's OSU Game Day or you're getting ready for OSU Game Day, make sure Dairy Mart is on your playlist. With 39 neighborhood stores throughout the Willamette Valley, Dairy Mart has everything you'll need for a great game. Beer and pop, ice, chips, healthy, fresh-to-go snacks, even hot deli items, and your favorite locked meat dairy products. Stop into your local Dairy Mart and get what you really want for Beavers Game Day.
Dairy Mart is here, man. Dairy Mart's right here.
The start of the new year usually means getting your finances back in order and building your savings. A free checking account from WaFd Bank gets you all the tools you need in a checking account and banking app. You get voice-activated banking with no minimum balance requirements or monthly fees. Plus, you can choose from a variety of great-looking debit cards to pay those bills in style. Visit wafdbank.com to open your account today and find out why they were awarded Best Bank by Newsweek 3 years in a row. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply. Member FDIC.
Blue Sun Inc. Employment Services is your local nonprofit dedicated to providing employment opportunities to veterans and those facing physical and economic challenges within our community. Founded by a veteran in 2013, Blue Sun Inc. has helped more than 2,500 people find employment opportunities, resulting in more than $21 million in net wages going back to the local economy. To learn more about Blue Sun Inc. and how you can help provide employment opportunities, please visit bluesuninc.com. Blue Sun Inc. Employment Services, proud to partner with Oregon State Athletics. Go Beavs!
At Builders First Source, we're proud to be the nation's largest supplier of home building materials with 14 locations across Oregon and Southwest Washington. Our team is driven to deliver for our customers and help tackle the toughest challenges on the job site. We offer expert advice as you shop our extensive selection of lumber, siding, windows and doors, roof and floor trusses, decking, pre-cut, ready frame, and more for your next project. Stop by our locations in Tangent or McMinnville or go to BLDR.com to find a location near you.
On the Beavers Sports Network from Learfield.
It's a high drive to deep left field. It is something else. Way back into the parking lot. So long. The 2-2 pitch, a slow tapper. It's got speed. The bare hand through to first. Not in time. Drive to left field and deep. Williams goes back into the bleachers.
Beaver Baseball is brought to you by Oregon State Credit Union, the official credit union of OSU Athletics. Safeway. Stop into Safeway, your exclusive grocery partner of Oregon State Athletics. The Barbers, where guys go for great cuts. Beavs Mobile. Only one wireless service is built for Beaver Nation. Visit beavsmobile.com to make the switch. And by Pacific Office Automation. Problem solved. PacificOffice.com. Now let's get ready for the first pitch.
And it's delivered by left-hander Ethan Kleinschmidt for the Beavers against Trevor Smith. Ethan misses low and inside, and the Eugene Regional is underway. Ethan back to the plate. His 1-0 pitch to Smith is high and away, ball 2. Mike Parker with Big Jim Wilson from the press box. So this is what a press box looks like. A little bit with apologies to Cruz about viewing a courtroom for the first time. Now, it's great to be back in the John Conrad press box. Kleinschmidt's 2-0 pitch to Trevor Smith is high and inside, ball 3. And the Cougar fans that have made the trip, they are outnumbered mightily by Beaver Nation, but they're making noise here early with Ethan yet to throw a strike as we get underway. Game 1 of the Eugene Regional 2026. The Beavers in their 9th consecutive regional. Kleinschmidt's 3-0 pitch is low for ball 4. That's an inauspicious start, I dare say. And we'll get to what happens next with Gavin Roy coming to the plate, the team's leading hitter at 372. But first things first, let's pause now. Let our network stations identify themselves. 10-second break for station ID. This is Beaver Baseball from Learfield. A 4-pitch walk to Trevor Smith to open the Beavs and Cougs here in Eugene. The first pitch from Ethan Kleinschmidt Strike one. Gavin Roy taking all the way. Right-hand hitting senior, 372, 2 homers, 42 runs batted in. And the pitch on the way, Roy, who has 4 sacrifice hits, bunting, and he bunts in the air right to Jacob Craig. So the leading hitter has to bunt and pops out to Jacob Craig on the bunt attempt. 1 away. Max Hartman, the batter. That kind of shows Eric Hutting, the third base coach, calling the offense from the third base box, asks his leading hitter to bunt. Jimmy, what do you think?
Yeah, a bit of a base hit try as well. It's one of those deals where you try to get a base. He tried to push it and instead got it up in the air, and just a simple play for Jacob Craig. But I think it does accent the idea that Nick Lewis is their guy, and they just feel like they just need to get a couple to back Lewis.
The pitch on the way to Max Hartman, fastball swung on and missed from Ethan Kleinschmidt. No balls and 1 strike, left on left. And this is a seriously good hitter, Jimmy. Max Hartman, a senior, 338, 7 homers, 46 runs batted in, and 8 triples, a new Washington State record. He swings and fouls one at the plate, and Kleinschmidt quickly ahead. No balls and 2 strikes. Ethan Kleinschmidt and Jacob Galloway, the Beavers battery. Jacob Craig getting the start here in the postseason at first base. A.J. Singer at second, Tyler Inge at short, Paul Vasquez at third, Josh Proctor in left, Easton Talt in center, and Adam Haight in right. Kleinschmidt to the plate and misses up and away. Ball 1, 1 and 2. If you're just joining us, a 4-pitch walk issued by Ethan Kleinschmidt to Trevor Smith to open the game. A bunt attempt goes awry for the Cougs. And now Max Hartman, left-handed hitter at the plate with a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kleinschmidt throws to first, driving back Trevor Smith. Trevor, a freshman, 3 for 5 in stolen bases. Eric Hutting coaching at third, Dan Bauer at first for the Cougs. The 1-2 fastball swung on and missed. Strike 3, 2 down. And Jim, after a 4-pitch walk to open the game, pretty good recovery here early for Kleinschmidt.
Very nice recovery. The bunt attempt and the easy out really paved the way for Kleinschmidt to kind of get back into it. And then lefty-lefty. He's only going to face 2 left-handed hitters in the lineup, Hartman being one of them.
Matt Priest, a right-hand hitting freshman, the batter, 366, 4 homers, 37 runs batted in, another toss to first base, and Trevor Smith back to the bag. PK Park in Eugene, the home of Oregon baseball since the reinstatement back in 2009, 325 to left field, 315 to the right field corner, 365 to the alleys, 390 feet to straightaway center. Matt Priest takes high and away from Ethan. Ball 1, 1-0. No score, top of the first inning. Just getting started. The Beavers hoping to play their way into the winner's bracket for a 6 o'clock game tomorrow night against either Yale or Oregon. Priest with the 1-0 pitch hitting him. I was about to say an exaggeratedly open stance, and he's drilled by the Kleinschmidt pitch. So 2 free passes in the inning. And very important now for Ethan to find a way through that to put up a 0. A walk to open the game. 2 outs later, he hits Matt Priest. And now Dustin Robinson, freshman right-handed hitter, coming to the plate.
Yeah, this is a team that gets hit by pitches. Oregon State, you feel like they get hit a lot. They've been hit 87 times. That's the 110th hit batsman for Washington State offensively, and you could see it with the leadoff hitter Trevor Smith on the first pitch, how it was kind of inside a little, and he's almost kind of leaned into it.
Dustin Robinson listed in our issued press release for the starting lineups, listed as a right-handed hitter. I'm looking at this, Jim, and I think I'm right to say he isn't one. The left on left, the first pitch from Ethan Kleinschmidt to the freshman left-handed hitter, Dustin Robinson, down and away, ball 1. Robinson, a freshman at 268, 6 homers, 39 runs batted in. The 1-0 pitch, a ground ball at A.J. Singer, stationed in shallow right. He fields and throws to Jacob Craig to retire the side. Ethan Kleinschmidt, a walk and a hit batter, but pitches through and around it and puts up a 0 to open the Eugene Regional. For the Cougs, no runs, no hits, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the first. Washington State, nothing. The Beavers, the home team in Eugene, coming up on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield. At Oregon State Credit Union, we weren't just founded in Beaver Country, we were born a Beaver and have been part of the OSU family from the start. And we're proud to be the official credit union of Oregon State University Athletics. Right now, you can earn a $300 bonus when you open any checking account. Get rewarded and bank where your Beaver pride runs deep. Join the credit union that was born a Beaver just like you. Open an account online at OregonStateCU.com/checking or visit your local branch. Federally insured by NCAA, limited time offer and some restrictions apply.
You and your family can count on Samaritan Health Services for life's biggest health moments. Because cancer care doesn't start at diagnosis, it starts with prevention and early detection. And when you take that first step, you're not just protecting yourself, you're caring for the people who count on you most. At Samaritan, we're with you every step, from screenings to treatment and survivorship. Samaritan Cancer Program, close to home care when it matters most. Visit samhealth.org/cancer.
Bottom of the first inning, the Cougs threatened with Ethan Kleinschmidt issuing a leadoff walk and then a two-out hit batsman. But Ethan puts up a 0, and we go to the bottom of the first inning. Redshirt sophomore left-hander Nick Lewis, 9-2, an ERA of 3.07, loosening up with his battery mate Cam McLeod, getting ready to face Easton Told, A.J. Singer, and Ethan Porter as the Beavs look to get a jump on a guy, Jim, that has been really good. He's the Mountain West Conference Pitcher of the Year. What kind of book did you get on Nick Lewis, the red-hot left-hander for the Cougs?
First and foremost, he's got a little hitch in his delivery, got a little body twist. Fastball anywhere 87, 88, 89. You heard somebody talk about soft lefty. Not soft, but certainly not a fireball and fastballer. But he does have a cutter, and that's kind of a neutralizer. Kind of a slurve as his breaking ball and a changeup. He'll work both sides of the plate. His fastball, I mean, he's got the cutter going one way, and his fastball tails a little bit the other.
It was Easton Tolt that used the expression, and it's not in any wise meant to be a pejorative term, but he said, we got it, we're dealing with a soft lefty, is what Easton said, and he gets the first look at Nick Lewis, who comes to the plate, and the fastball, firm enough, is outside, ball one. 1-0 to Tolt. Easton, the senior, has started every game for the Beavers this year. Steps in at 261. I know that's lower than the number he had looked forward to, but he's been a good leadoff hitter. He takes the 1-0 pitch down and away, ball 2. He has 25 stolen bases. He gets on a lot. 5 homers, 40 runs batted in, so he's a threat in a number of ways, Jimmy. And the batting average isn't where he wants it to be at 261, but he's been a fixture in the starting lineup all year long. The 2-0 pitch, a strike, and the count 2-1.
Yeah, one of the 2 seniors in the lineup that have been here the whole time, and he's just a fixture in the line. He's a big part of this baseball team.
No score, bottom of the first. The 2-1 pitch is in there for a strike. 2-2 the count. Now, Nick Lewis at 3.07, 9-2. 91 innings, 86 hits, just 27 walks, 65 strikeouts, a batting average against of 251. He's allowed 7 home runs in a ballpark that plays pretty small generally. Tall checks his swing on a 2-2 pitch. On appeal, no swing, says our third base umpire Nick Mull. Ingratiated himself with Beaver Nation. Here in really good numbers, Jim, it has a home field feel for the Beavs.
Home field for Oregon State, and I think the second color you see is not red for Washington State, it's green.
The 3-2 pitch to Tolt hit sharply right at the second baseman, Gavin Roy, who knocks it down, stays with it from shallow right, and throws out Easton Tolt, 1 away. Now, Gavin Roy made that play, Jim, but we haven't really talked yet about Cougar defense up the middle in particular and on the infield. It hasn't been particularly stellar.
And that's being nice, Mike. I mean, Gavin Roy at second base, 15 errors. Now, he played the first half of the season at shortstop, and maybe he got a lot of them there.
The first pitch to the 2-hole hitter for the Beavers, A.J. Singer, hits him on the left sleeve. Yeah, and he will head down to first on the first pitch that he sees from Nick Lewis. Now, the field turf here can be an equalizing factor. It's easier to defend, but the Cougs play mainly on turf. They have a turf field at home at Bailey Brayton and Pullman, so their .966 fielding percentage and 71 errors could come into play.
Yeah, and to finish the thought, the shortstop has 14 errors. That's 29 in the middle infield. The third baseman's got 10 more, and the first baseman's got 5. That's 44 errors with your starting group. I watched Gavin Roy. I watched him in the infield. Gavin Roy was a little erratic with the throws, and I think that's something you might look after.
Ethan Porter, the Beavers' designated hitter, the batter, swings at the first pitch and hits it foul behind the Beavers' dugout on the first base side, off to the right and out of play. No balls and 1 strike. Nick Lewis and Cam McLeod, the battery for the Cougs. No score. Bottom of the first inning. A.J. Singer at first and 1 out. Ryan Shonsby at first, Gavin Roy at second, Kyler Northrup at short, Ollie Obenauer at third. The strike 1 pitch, a little bit high to Ethan to even the count at 1-1. In the outfield for the Cougs, Dustin Robinson in left, Trevor Smith in center, Max Hartman in right. That's about as straight away of a defensive alignment I've seen from an outfield in 2026. A throw to first base, A.J. Singer 4 for 6 and stolen bases back. Mike Henriques coaching at first, gets into A.J.'s ear. Ryan Gibson coaching at third. No score, bottom of the first, 1-1 to Ethan Porter. Nick Lewis to the plate. Breaking ball or off speed in the turf, blocked nicely by Cam McLeod. And the count 2-1, but that has some decisive break to it, Jimmy, that off-speed pitch.
Yeah, and I can't even tell if that's the breaking ball or the change because he's thrown that same pitch twice and it's been down, so you couldn't really tell.
The 2-1 pitch just outside. Good take by Porter. Ball 3-1.
As I look at those flags, Mike, the wind is picking up a little bit, blowing straight out to center field.
It was mild and breezeless during BP for both teams, but you're right, the winds have picked up. A throw to first and Singer back. Quite a bit, in fact, Jim, as I look out. It's considerably different than BP when the ball was jumping for both teams leaving the yard.
Without the wind.
Exactly. The 3-1 pitch to Porter, a fly ball to right. Max Hartman has a play. He moves back in straightaway right field to make the catch. 2 down. And Josh Proctor, the hitter. And Josh has been a hitter of late, Jim. He weathered an 0 for 28 slump during his freshman campaign. But credit to him and credit to a young man working his way through all of that. And comes in with solid numbers. 278, 7 homers, 39 runs batted in. Proctor may have had his best game as a Beaver against the Cougs in Pullman in an 18-0 win back on April 6th at Bailey Brayton Field with a double, a sacrifice fly, a single, and a home run. Not a bad day in Pullman.
He definitely profiles as a guy who's just going to be a hitter. And already as a true freshman stepping in, getting the majority of the starts in left field. Only 36 strikeouts. It's not like when he was going bad, he was punching out every time.
Josh with a count of 1 ball and 1 strike, 2 down, bottom of the first inning, no score. A.J. Singer at first. Josh entering the regional on a 9-game hitting streak, wherein he's 15 for 30 with 3 doubles, a triple, and a couple of homers. He hits one off the end of the bat, a ground ball to Gavin Roy, who looks it in and throws to first, and both left-handers live up to their billing. They both put up zeros. They're both 9-2. They're both very good in their craft. Ethan Kleinschmidt put up a 0, as does his counterpart, Nick Lewis. 1 inning in the books in the Eugene Regional. The Beavers and Cougars with Yale and Oregon playing at 5 o'clock later today. The winners meet tomorrow night at 6. Those who fall into the loser side of the bracket right back here tomorrow at 1 o'clock. After 1, no score. The Beavs and Cougs on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Now at McDonald's, a sausage McMuffin is only $1.50. So stop dreaming about breakfast sausage and go get it. Get more value on the under $3 menu.
Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Prices may be higher for delivery. Pacific Office Automation is an official sponsor of Oregon State Athletics. Let us help you create your total office solution with copiers and printers. security systems and cameras, managed IT and cloud services, unified communications and telephones, including carrier services, plus temperature sensing kiosks and more. The one source for all your office technology solutions. Go to PacificOffice.com. Pacific Office Automation. Problem solved.
Now, at McDonald's, wake up to a $4 breakfast meal deal. Wake up to a sausage McMuffin or a sausage biscuit, to hash browns, and wake up to a hot coffee. Get your $4 breakfast meal deal.
Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Prices may be higher for delivery.
Beaver Baseball is brought to you by Pacific Office Automation. Local people respond. Local people make decisions. Local people make sure you're happy. Pacific Office Automation, problem solved. And speaking of local people, Big Jim, you know what a unified sort of and bonding experience baseball through the generations can be. I am delighted and thankful to report my daughters Lydia and Elle are taking in the ball game in the Beavers section behind the Beavers dugout on the first base side as we go to the top of the second inning. No score. First ball swinging. A fly ball to center field off the bat of Ryan Shawnsby. Easton Talt moves in and under, makes the catch, and that's a much better start to a frame for Ethan. 4 pitches to open the game and ball 4. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the second, no score.
A pitcher's best friend, first pitch, easy fly out to center field, and you're probably going to get, if you take it, a good, easy strike right here to a guy who's probably taken.
Ollie Obenauer, listed in our charts again as a left-handed hitter. Boy, you can't trust the information we've been given. This is Obenauer, a right-handed hitter who takes a strike. The count 0-1. Right-hand hitting senior, 287, a homer, 22 runs batted in. On a cloudy day, 60-ish degrees, breezes have picked up. Kleinschmidt strike 1 fastball on the outer half for strike 2.
Right on the edge. What a great pitch. 93 miles an hour according to the scoreboard gun, and just right on the outside corner.
No balls and 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on, no score in the second inning. Kleinschmidt ready, the lefty to the plate, just inside, and a good pitch, moving it in and out, Jimmy, the count 1-2.
Yeah, that was a very good pitch. It might have been just a little bit inside, an inch maybe off the plate, but a very good pitch.
Cam McLeod on deck. The Cougs in the third base dugout. They have a good representation here. Fastball swung out and missed. Strike 3, 2 down. The second strikeout for Ethan Kleinschmidt. All strikeouts in this 2026 campaign are McDonald's strikeouts. And if the Beaver pitchers strike out 10 or more, you can score a free Egg McMuffin in the McDonald's app tomorrow with a minimum $2 purchase. 2 down, nobody on. Cam McLeod, right-hand hitting catcher, 198, 3 homers, 17 runs batted in. Kleinschmidt misses ball 1, 1-0.
McLeod, you mentioned below the Mendoza line. There's been talk about moving that line down a little bit with some of these major league averages.
1 ball, no strikes, 2 down. Kleinschmidt, fastball for a strike. Speaking of major league averages, Jimmy, the Beavers go into today with 10 players active right now in the big leagues on big league rosters, including the latest 2, Wade Meckler and Travis Bazzana. Yeah, and he homered in the first pitch that he saw as an Angel back in his hometown. The 1-1 fastball swung on and fouled back in the count 1-2. Travis Bazzana is really raking it for Cleveland.
I understand he's a good hitter. We saw some good things. I mean, it was so fun to watch his progression. As a freshman, he was fantastic. As a sophomore, he was unbelievable. And as a senior, I don't even know what the next adjective is.
The 1-2 changeup swung on and missed. Strike 3 to retire the side. Kleinschmidt, after a little trouble in the first, comes back to retire the side in order with 2 strikeouts to end the second. The Cougs go in order after 1.5 in Eugene. Washington State nothing, the Beavers nothing on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
At the stadium or home, keep your cocktails local with Crater Lake Spirits, because great booze, happy people isn't just our motto, it's our personal guarantee. With every bottle of Crater Lake, you're getting Oregon pride distilled. Our spirits are a toast to tradition and a nod to innovation. Every sip is a celebration of the good times, the great outdoors, and the unbeatable spirit of the Pacific Northwest. Join us in raising a glass to victories, big and small. With Crater Lake Spirits proudly sponsoring Oregon State Athletics, we're here to make every game day unforgettable.
Picture this, a crisp Oregon day, and you've just finished 9 holes of golf with your friend. You head to the pub, where the food is delicious, and everybody knows your name. This is life at Corvallis Club, your home away from home. Corvallis Club is a private club and 18-hole golf course in the heart of Corvallis, offering exceptional fine dining, event spaces, a seasonal heated pool, a fitness center with sauna, a 2-bedroom suite, and limousine service. Call or email our concierge today at concierge@corvallisclub.com.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by Oregon State University. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the university and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the university.
Samaritan Health Services, team doctors for Beaver baseball and here for you. From expert orthopedic care to cancer screenings and beyond, Samaritan Health Services, we're with you every step. No score, bottom of the second. The Beavers in Washington State on kind of a gloomy-looking day, but it hasn't dampened the spirits at all. A good crowd in here. The Beavers well represented and a lot of Cougar fans in as well for a renewal of an old rivalry in the Pacific Northwest. Haight taking the first pitch low. And now the left-hander comes back with a good change that Adam takes for a strike from Nick Lewis. 1-1 the count to the sophomore right-hand hitting Adam Haight, 271. 3 homers, 30 runs batted in. Swings, and it's a ground ball wide of third. Oberauer, a nice play to his left. Throws across to get Haight. 1 away. This will be the day, perhaps, in underscoring the mistakes and the errors and the low fielding percentage. They may make us think of heck, Joe Morgan and Brooks Robinson and Greg Nettles or Tyler Inge before the weekend's over.
I'm glad you said Brooks Robinson. I think he's sort of the gold standard as far as defensively at third base. Another good changeup from Lewis to get Haight to roll over.
Paul Vasquez, the batter, he looks at a first pitch fastball for a strike. The Beavers' third baseman, Jim, homered here in the Beavers' 7-3 victory in the game against Oregon that they won. They lost at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, but Vasquez pummeled the ball deep into the bullpen to get the Beavers on their way to that victory here at PK Park. Early in the year, it was a big win for the Bees. Paul takes low and in, ball 1-1. Lewis back to the plate and just misses inside with a fastball. Good take from Vasquez, who stands in at 287, 8 homers, 34 runs batted in. Solid D. It's been a good year for the Sox.
It really has. He basically took that position and just never let it go.
He takes just inside, ball 3, 3-1. And in that sense, I think maybe, I don't know if it's a surprise a little bit to you, to all of us, but a guy that was so limited last year in opportunities, as you said, was given an opportunity and never let it go. He's been a big factor, and he swings at the 3-1 pitch and ropes it to the gap into left center field off the base of the fence. Vasquez on his way for 2 and goes in standing up. Quickly on cue. A double to the alley in left center field for a guy that's had a really big year for the Beavs. He's in scoring position for Jacob Galloway.
Yeah, and this is where Galloway just needs to get that ball on the right side and get Vasquez moved. I'll tell you where Vasquez won that at bat is taking 2 borderline inside fastballs to set him up for a 3-1 fastball that he crushed to left center.
Jacob Galloway, who has been described as the rock, the wall, a rock wall back of the plate, handling virtually every inning this year as a receiver. He really appreciated the 2 weeks of rest, essentially getting ready for postseason. Jacob Galloway, who has played both at Texas A&M and USC, beginning his career in his hometown in Los Angeles with the Trojans in College Station last year, and has just been solid. 298, a homer, 27 runs batted in for Jacob. He takes off speed, down and away, ball one. Paul Vasquez at second, 1 out, no score, bottom of the second. The 1-0 fastball, a strike to Galloway. It was a ball to Vasquez. That's why you said
two of those.
Right.
Yeah, no, that was, I don't think that's going to be a consistent strike for home plate umpire Kevin Sweeney.
1 ball and 1 strike to Galloway. Vasquez does not run especially well at second base. The pitch to Galloway, a slicing fly ball to left. Dustin Robinson plays it on a hop. Vasquez is being waved around. The relay from Kyler Northrup to the plate is not in time. Into second base goes Jacob Galloway. The Beavers lead it 1-0.
I thought for sure, Mike, that was going to be a fly out to left, and instead the ball drops in front of the left fielder, but the big mistake was made by the shortstop, who was surprised that the runner was going, took an extra double clutch, and that was just enough for the runner Vasquez to get in. I think the shortstop, if he catches and throws, there's a dead out at home.
I agree with you, and that again speaks a little bit to defense.
It wasn't clean.
There's no error there, but it was not clean, and the Beavers take advantage of it, and maybe, just maybe, that's part of the, Gippy gamble in sending not a terribly swift runner in Vasquez, gambling and made the Cougs make a play, and they didn't, and the Beavs lead it 1-0. Jacob Craig takes low, ball 1. 1-0 Beavers in the second. The 1-0 pitch, a big swing and a miss. And the count 1-1 to Jacob, standing in at 97, with 4 homers and 14 runs batted in. But Jacob Craig starts today for the Beavers at first base, looking for an RBI. He's jammed, rolls one slowly to short. Northrup up with it, and the throw to first is in time. Jacob Craig lumbering down the line, not able to beat it out. 2 down on the play. Galloway, who doubled to score Vasquez, goes to third. 1-0 Beavers in the second. Tyler Inge, the batter. And Jimmy, that's not a great result for Craig to ground out. I get that. But just to see him up there swinging is a good sign, perhaps even for later.
Can't hit a homer unless you take a big rip, and that's all I think they want. Just find a pitch and take a rip at it.
Tyler Inge, the batter. He takes a breaking ball down and in. Ball 1, 1-0. Jacob Galloway at third. 2 down, 1-0 Beavers. Back-to-back doubles from Paul Vasquez and Jacob Galloway. And now Inge trying to get Galloway home with a 2-out hit. He checks his swing, and it's a called strike on a breaking ball down on the inner half, knee high. The count, 1 ball and 1 strike. But again, Jimmy, that whole the role of defense and the underrated element that defense entails in this game, I think we just saw come to play. Inge, a fly ball to left field. Dustin Robinson has a play, backs up a little bit. Instructive fly ball with the wind starting to blow. Makes the catch, and the inning is over. Ryan Gibson gambles a bit, and it pays off as the Cougs didn't execute a relay. The Beavers get back-to-back doubles and take the first lead in this Eugene regional affair. After 2 at PK Park, the Beavers 1 and the Cougars nothing on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
At Builders First Source, we're proud to be the nation's largest supplier of home building materials with 14 locations across Oregon and Southwest Washington. Our team is driven to deliver for our customers and help tackle the toughest challenges on the job site. We offer expert advice as you shop our extensive selection of lumber, siding, windows and doors, roof and floor trusses, decking, pre-cut, ready frame, and more for your next project. Stop by our locations in Tangent or McMinnville or go to BLDR.com to find a location near you.
Around here, we see a lot of people head out. No matter where they're going, we just help make sure they're ready. Before you hit the road, get a pre-trip safety check from Les Schwab Tires. It's free. Plus, this May, save up to $200 on select sets of 4 tires, including all-terrain, highway, all-season, and all-weather. So go ahead. Explore with confidence. Les Schwab Tires. We're here to help you take the long way. Limited time offer while supplies last. See leschwab.com/sale for details.
1-0 Beavers as we go to the third in Eugene in the Eugene Regional. All saves this year are presented by WaFd Bank. WaFd Bank, you deserve a best bank. Yale and Oregon at 5. The two winners in these first two games will meet tomorrow night at 6. The losers will play one another at 1 o'clock. 1-0 Beavers to the third. Ethan Kleinschmidt to face Kyler Northrup. Right-hand hitting sophomore shortstop. Kleinschmidt to the plate. First pitch fastball for a strike. 0-1 the count. Northrup at .293. No homers, 21 runs batted in. Kleinschmidt rocks, kicks, and comes back with the 0-1 pitch. Fastball just outside. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. I mentioned my daughters being here, Jim, the unifying, the bonding nature of the game. I think about all the experiences, the Beavers in the postseason. And I know you and Lisa, the daughter, you have 2 beautiful daughters, and Evie and Esty. They're not here today, but the shared experiences as families and to see my daughters here reveling in Beaver baseball in this setting, it's a great thing. And the game does bind us all and has through the generations. Kleinschmidt misses down and away, ball 2, 2-1. Ethan to the plate, the 2-1 pitch, a line drive, caught by Paul Vasquez. Jumping in a semi-dive, certainly a jump to his left. A tremendous play by Vasquez. 1 away. And the batter will be Trevor Smith.
We mentioned Brooks Robinson. We were talking about Vasquez and his defensive ability. Not Brooks Robinson, but they always say third base, you got to be good with a step and a dive. And that's what it was, a half step and a dive, and that ball got on him in a hurry.
Really nice play by Paul, who has the game's lone run in his line score. Scoring after doubling, he was chased home on an opposite field double by Jacob Galloway. 1-0 Beavers in the third. The first pitch to Trevor Smith is a strike, something that Trevor did not see to open the game. A 4-pitch walk for Kleinschmidt, who comes back with the 0-1 pitch. I dare say it's pulled foul into the Cougar dugout on the third base side. The count 0-2.
Just looking at those miles per hour readings on the scoreboard, Mike, that first fastball, they list 94. That's it. That's the highest.
His upper end for Ethan.
And then this next pitch, the breaking ball, 79. And you saw how far out in front Smith was.
No balls and 2 strikes to Trevor. 1 out, nobody on in the third. 1-0 Beavers. Ethan to the plate. Swung on and missed. Strike 3 with a good fastball. Kleinschmidt set him up well that entire sequence, and that's his third McDonald strikeout. 2 down in the third. Gavin Roy, the batter.
As a hitter, you go to 2 strikes, and you're so far in front of that 2-strike swing that you dribble it into your own dugout. And then he just goes right back upstairs with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Good sequence from Ethan Kleinschmidt, who's throwing as well as really I've seen all year.
Ethan to the plate. First pitch to Gavin Roy. Fastball foul back. 0-1 the count. I wonder if Coach Hutting and Nathan Choate, the head coach, had to do over again. They might have let Roy hit rather than have him try to bunt Trevor Smith over in the first inning. That kind of seemed to settle Ethan down. He got an out quickly and has really looked solid since. A 1-0 lead. He comes back with a strike 1 pitch and misses a little bit outside. Roy, a really good hitter, the team's leading hitter, at .372, and he's a Mountain West first teamer, 27 multi-hit games, the tournament MVP last weekend in the Mountain West tournament in Mesa, Arizona. Really good ball player. Gavin Roy out of Sudbury, Ontario. The pitch on the way is fouled back. Ethan throwing a lot of fastballs and commanding them. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down, 1-0 Beavers in the third.
Roy listed at 5'9", and he really is a good hitter. 372, 2 homers, 42 RBIs from the leadoff spot.
Gavin Roy awaiting Ethan Kleinschmidt, who comes 1-2 and misses off speed in the turf. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ethan Kleinschmidt getting the opportunity today. I've talked to pitching coach Rich Dorman. Tomorrow starting pitcher, and all he kept saying, it depends. Depends on a lot of things.
Well, I will say this. Yale has all right-handed bats.
2-2 pitch, a chopper to third. Paul Vasquez up with it. Started the inning with a nice catch and makes a routine play here, but he makes it. Throws across to Jacob Craig. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Ethan Kleinschmidt, who's now retired 7 straight. After 2.5. We'll get more on the potential pitching and the matchup tomorrow when we continue. We go to the bottom of the third. 1-0 Beavers leading the Cougs on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Join us for the opening weekend of the Division I NCAA Baseball Championship as we bring you all the action on Learfield's Regional Rundown Show. From foul pole to foul pole, we'll cover every game with live play-by-play, highlights, and scores as they happen all weekend long. Live on the free Varsity Network app, join our crew starting Friday, May 29th as we go game to game across the 16 regional sites. Slide headfirst into the Regional Rundown exclusively on the Varsity Network app.
Play ball!
For good times. Hey, Beaver Nation! Did you know you're on the doorstep of a great Alaska adventure? Set sail from Seattle with Holland America, the Alaska vacation experts. They've been sharing the wonders of the Great Land for nearly 80 years. Experience magnificent glaciers, guaranteed on every Alaska cruise, and watch whales splash with a cruise line that's #1 in Alaska wildlife and wilderness tours. Discover experiences too good to hurry through with Holland America, the official cruise line of Oregon State University Athletics. Go Beavs!
Oregon State has partnered with your local Toyota dealers to create an official fan club for your favorite pets. That's Benny's Buddies. Each member gets an official social media filter, and Toyota and Oregon State give away collars, leashes, treats, toys, and so much more. Sign up your pet today at osubeavers.com/Benny's Buddies. Mike Parker with Jim Wilson from PK Park in Eugene, where the Beavers lead the Cougars 1-0. The winners of the first two games play each other tomorrow night at 6. Yale and Oregon today at 5. Easton Tolt steps in against Nick Lewis in the first pitch, breaking ball in there for a strike. Tolt grounded out, but he did see 6 pitches to open the game. Tolt, followed by A.J. Singer, and then Ethan Porter against sophomore left-hander Nick Lewis, who comes back with a breaking ball down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Back to the potential of tomorrow. Coach Dorman doesn't know. They'll watch the Yale-Oregon game, and they hope to be on the winner's side. But whatever the case, they're going to watch the game and kind of make a decision thereafter. Tolt swings and pokes one toward right field, but moving in is Max Hartman to make the catch. 1 away, and A.J. Singer, the batter. Could you complete the thought a little bit about the potential matchup against one or the other tomorrow, Jimmy?
So you're choosing between Trey Morris and Eric Segura. And I just will say this, Yale is all right-handed pitchers, all right-handed hitters. You would face a lineup, regardless of who's pitching, of 9 right-handed batters. So I would say Segura would be if it's Yale. And I'd almost lean the other way, Morris, if it's Oregon.
The first pitch to A.J. Singer popped into shallow right field. Second baseman Gavin Roy goes out to grab it. 2 down, and Ethan Porter, the batter. Ethan flied to right field in his first at-bat. This is an important inning for Lewis, who faced a little bit of a threat in the first with a hit batter. Last inning, the Beavers were back-to-back doubles to get on the board, but the lefty, who has been excellent, it looks like he may be settling a little bit now. He throws a strike to Ethan. 0-1 the count, 2 down, nobody on, 1-0 Beavers. A quick tempo from Lewis, delivers high and inside, the count 1-1. It's a minor thing, Jim, but you mentioned the wind blowing, and we've seen a couple of fly balls where at the last moment, Cougar defenders have had to back up a little bit to make plays. We need to keep an eye on that. The pitch to Porter in there for a strike, and the count 1-2.
Lewis doing a good job of using his changeup, changing speeds. He's 88, 86, 87, and 77.
Porter swings at the 1-2 pitch, a drive to left end deep. Dustin Robinson back. The ball goes off the middle of the fence, and Carolyn's by Dustin, who gathers, but not in time to prevent Ethan Porter from cruising into second with a 2-out double. The Beavers' third 2-bagger of the ball game, and Josh Proctor will come to the plate. That ball, I'm not sure how well it was hit, but it got to the fence and almost over, about halfway up that 8-foot fence and left.
I think he was slightly out front of it and had that hook action, just enough of it to keep it from getting the height that wanted to get out of here. Boy, that would have been big if he could have got that thing out of here and picked up a run with 2 outs. But Oregon State has that opportunity here with Josh Proctor.
Ryan Gibson, the Beavers hitting coach, asked for a timeout offensively to talk to Josh about the approach here. Proctor, as we mentioned in his first at-bat, weathering an 0-for-28 stretch. And it's interesting in that Proctor's slump began after, arguably, his best game this season with the Beavers against Washington State on April 6th. I mentioned that he doubled, he singled, he had a sacrifice fly, a homer, and a walk, 3 for 3, 3 RBIs, 2 walks, food poisoning that night back at the hotel, and it really took a lot out of him. The pitch on the way to Josh Proctor, down and in, ball 1-0. I guess I'm speaking literally and figuratively, but it was a tough thing for him to bounce back from. Gippy said he just wasn't right. Really stricken, didn't even come to the ballpark with the team for that second game in Pullman. The 1-0 pitch is lifted to center and playable. Trevor Smith started to back up. Now he moves in to make the catch, and the inning is over. But the young man worked his way through all of that and has been hot. 0 for 2 today. The Beavers get a 2-out double and nothing more. 3 innings in the books in this quick-moving affair thus far in the Eugene Regional. The Beavers 1 and the Cougars nothing on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey campers, it's Jan from Toyota. This summer, we're headed to Camp Toyota, and the fun starts now. Your summer starts here.
Dealer inventory may vary, so your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends June 1st. Toyota, let's go places.
A lot goes into Oregon State athletes reaching peak performance for game day, including the right nutrition. At Wilbur Ellis, we know that healthy crop performance requires the same attention to nutrition as an athlete. That's why we use benchmark data points to maximize crop productivity through nutrient efficiency. For 100 years, family-owned Wilbur Ellis has been partnering with Oregon's farmers to grow healthier crops. That is the winning ag experience for Beaver Nation. Locally provided by Wilbur Ellis.
Hey campers, it's Jan from Toyota. This summer, we're headed to Camp Toyota, and the fun starts now. Your summer starts here.
Dealer inventory may vary, so your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends June 1st. Toyota, let's go places.
This is the RAV 4th inning, presented by your local Toyota dealers. Now, back to the game.
Through 3 innings at PK Park in Eugene, the Beavers 1 run, 3 hits, all doubles, and no errors. For Washington State, no runs, no hits, no errors as we go to the top of the 4th. Max Hartman, Matt Priest, and Dustin Robinson, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Cougs against Kleinschmidt, who has been pretty efficient. 35 pitches through 3 innings for Ethan. Got a first pitch out in the second inning. And now goes to the 4th against Hartman, whom he struck out in the first. 60 degrees, blowing out towards center field. And I can't quite tell and get a good look out of the John Conrad press box whether it's drizzling a bit, and I believe it is. I see a bit of a mist here in the southern end of the Willamette Valley. The pitch to Hartman swung on and fouled back. No balls and a strike.
That's a good challenge right there and a good rip by Hartman.
Kleinschmidt back to the plate with the 0-1 pitch just outside, and the count 1-1. Ethan Kleinschmidt and Jacob Galloway, the Beavers battery. Jacob Craig at first, A.J. Singer at second, Tyler Inge at short, Paul Vasquez at third, Josh Proctor in left, Easton Talt in center, Adam Haight in right. The 1-1 pitch hits Max Hartman. So the Cougs get the leadoff man aboard with their second hit batter of the game. Hartman trots down to first, and he's their leading base stealer, 18 for 21. Matt Priest, who was hit by a pitch in the first inning, comes to the plate. Matt has a look at his third base coach and offensive play caller, Eric Hutting. The last time they got their leadoff man aboard, they attempted to bunt, and it didn't work out. Priest has only sacrificed once this year. An exaggerated open stance for the right-hand hitting Priest. A toss to first, and Max Hartman, a runner, 18 bags, steps back to the bag. 1-0 Beavers in the 4th.
Priest actually started his career at USC. Didn't play.
Another throw to first, and back to the bag goes Max Hartman. Priest redshirted with the Trojans last year, was a number 3 outfielder in the state of California. I mean,
no, he was a high-end guy.
Priest at the plate against Ethan Kleinschmidt, who delivers a breaking ball just outside, ball 1, 1-0. And again, the old-fashioned method of communicating signals with Priest backing out to have a look at Eric Hutting going through the signs in the third base box. Hartman at first, nobody out. 1-0 fastball, big rip by Priest, swung on and missed, and the count 1-1.
Kleine gets a favor there as that ball was well out of the strike zone, and Priest was looking to pull what was a pitch up and away. I mean, if you're going to hit that pitch, you want to go the other way with it.
Snap throw to first from Ethan Hartman, back to the bag, 1-0 Beavers in the fourth. Priest really got hot in conference play, 420 through the 24 games in Mountain West play. That was tops on this Cougar team. He's the cleanup hitter at the plate. 1-0 Beavs, top of the fourth. Kleinschmidt again back to first, and Hartman back to the bag. And it doesn't take great discernment now to see that the drizzle has picked up a little bit. It's been dark, kind of gloomy looking, as I mentioned, all day long, and now some mist to accompany that. The pitch to Priest, fastball foul back, and the count goes to 1-2 to Matt Priest.
Those that traveled, I'm not sure how it was here in Eugene in the morning, but it was a lot of rain that I cut through to get here, obviously at a much earlier hour. It's sometimes very heavy rain.
1-2 to Matt Priest. Kleinschmidt to the plate. A changeup is swung on and missed. Strike three, one away. Another beautiful off-speed pitch from Ethan Kleinschmidt, who records his fourth strikeout. One gone, and Dustin Robinson coming up.
The left-hander, Dustin Robinson. I should have trusted my notes. I had him as a lefty, and then I'm going through, I'm copying the lineup, and it was kind of loaded with errors. The PA guy for here in Eugene, right-hander Nick Lewis. Just because it said on the thing, right-hander.
Fastball hit foul off to the left and out of play. No balls and a strike to Dustin Robinson. Yeah, we get
right-handed freshman.
Yeah, we get handed all of these. No, okay, well, yeah, thank you. And you rely upon those things. I think we all learned today. The PA guy tried to make a correction and wasn't able to get to it. Kleinschmidt tosses to first, and back to the back goes Hartman. But this is the left-hand hitting freshman, Dustin Robinson, at the plate, a transfer. Now, he's a transfer from Cypress Community College, so that information about the freshman is also correct. The pitch to Robinson hits him. That's 2 hit batters in the inning, 3 in the game, and the Cougs have the tying run at second base with 1 out, and Ryan Shonsby, the leading home run hitter for the Cougs and RBI man with 57, coming to the plate.
I mentioned that the Cougars had been hit by 109 pitches on a season. That's a high total. Now, that's nowhere near like a national leader. Over 200, believe it or not, is the not over 200. That's the stolen bases, but 3 today now. 3.
Fastball from Ethan to Shonsby is high and inside. Ball 1-0. 3 hit batsman and a walk. And the Cougs threatening with the Beavers leading 1-0, but Washington State with 2 hit batters in the frame, first and second and 1 out. Kleinschmidt would love to roll a double play ball here. Fastball foul back and the count 1-1. Kleinschmidt is more of a fly ball kind of pitcher, Jimmy, but he can mix in a grounder here and there and would like to here. The rain, it's picking up a little bit now. And as I was saying earlier, is it misty? Well, the answer is an emphatic yes. The 1-1 breaking ball in there for a strike, and the count 1-2 to Shonsby.
That's the first breaking ball that Ethan Kleinschmidt has landed for a called strike. And that's critical. I mean, that was a huge pitch in this inning.
Jumps ahead of Shonsby, 1-2 with 2 on and 1 out. Another breaking ball, and that's in the turf. Ball 2. 2-2, and a pretty important pitch coming right here for Kleinschmidt. Ali Obenauer on deck. 1-0 Beavers in the fourth. Kleinschmidt had been kind of cruising along since a walk and a hit batter in the first inning. 2 hit batters here in the fourth. 2 on, 1 out, 1-0 Beavers. 2-2 to Ryan Shonsby. Kleinschmidt to the plate. Fastball away. Ball 3. 3-2.
And you're right, Mike. It's that 2-2 pitch. You want to make sure that's the one you're landing so you don't go to full count. Now you open the door for runners moving.
3-2 to Ryan Shawnsby, left on left with 2 on and 1 out. The 3-2 pitch with the runners going is foul back. And the count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Nice job by Shawnsby to fight off what I thought was a pretty darn good fastball in the outer third. If you got to strike him out, throw him out, sometimes the easiest thing to do is throw it down to second base, as the runner at first did not really have that kind of effort.
Shawnsby awaits. Kleinschmidt turns and throws to second, driving back Max Hartman. Hartman at second, Robinson at first. 1 out. 1-0 Beavers in the top of the 4th inning. Ryan Shawnsby out of Long Beach has been a good hitter. Mountain West second teamer this season. Has worked the count full to 3-2. The runners go. The 3-2 pitch taken. Strike 3 called. And the throw by Galloway gets away from Vasquez. And the tying run, Max Hartman, comes down the line to score. And the ball game is even at 1. And into third base goes Dustin Robinson. So we talk about the stellar Beaver defense. It's been among the best in the country and the best season statistically from a fielding percentage standpoint in Oregon State history. But a throwing error on Jacob Galloway's part enables Max Hartman to score the tying run. The go-ahead run is 90 feet away. 2 down, and Ollie Obenauer, the batter. And, Jimmy, your point about getting to 3-2 was huge. 2-2 to 3-2, and that enabled the runners to go. Yeah, you got the strikeout, but you didn't get the throw-em-out part. Instead, you threw it past Vasquez down the line, and we have a 1-1 tie.
Yeah, a couple of mistakes there. Obviously a bad throw, but Vasquez has to be just a hoover. He becomes a goalie.
Knock it down.
At that point, yeah. But if there was ever a gift run, 2 hit batsmen and an error is basically what is accounted for the Oregon Duck or the Washington State run.
Obenauer taking the first pitch from Kleinschmidt for a strike. The 0-1 pitch from Ethan is swung on and missed. 0-2 the count. Dustin Robinson at third, 2 down in a 1-1 tie in the 4th. Ethan set. The strike 2 pitch. Fastball got him swinging, and the inning is over. The run ends up being unearned, but it is a run. And the Cougs have pulled even. 2 hit batters, a throwing error, and we start afresh as we go to the bottom of the 4th. The Cougars won, the Beavers won on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Join us for the opening weekend of the Division I NCAA Baseball Championship as we bring you all the action on Learfield's Regional Rundown Show. From foul pole to foul pole, we'll cover every game with live play-by-play, highlights, and scores as they happen all weekend long. Live on the free Varsity Network app, join our crew starting Friday, May 29th as we go game to game across the 16 regional sites. Slide headfirst into the Regional Rundown exclusively on the Varsity Network app.
Play ball!
Beavs.
At Oregon State Credit Union, we weren't just founded in Beaver Country, we were born a Beaver and have been part of the OSU family from the start. And we're proud to be the official credit union of Oregon State University Athletics. Right now, you can earn a $300 bonus when you open any checking account. Get rewarded and bank where your Beaver pride runs deep. Join the credit union that was born a Beaver just like you. Open an account online at OregonStateCU.com/checking or visit your local branch. Federally insured by NCUA, limited time offer and some restrictions apply. Of the 4th inning, a 1-1 tie, an unearned run for the Cougs, 2 hit batters and a throwing error, and Washington State takes advantage. The Beavs hope to get after Nick Lewis and get the lead back here in the 4th. Adam Haight, Paul Vasquez, and Jacob Galloway, the scheduled hitters. Before Adam steps in against Nick Lewis, we want to pause and let our network stations identify themselves. 10-second break for station ID. This is Beaver Baseball from Learfield. Nick Lewis to Adam Haight. First pitch fastball for a strike. 0-1 the count. Adam grounded to third in his first at-bat. Nick Lewis, who has been a tremendous pitcher for the Cougs this year at 9-2, the conference pitcher of the year, delivers a strike 1 pitch. A 2-hopper to the shortstop, Kyler Northrup, who takes it off the field turf and throws out Adam. 1 away in the 4th. and Paul Vasquez, the batter. Paul scored the Beavers' lone run in the second inning, a one-out double. Came home on an opposite field double, which ensued from Jacob Galloway. The Cougs pulling even with an unearned run in the top of the fourth. A 1-1 tie with Vasquez stepping in against Nick. The first pitch from Lewis misses high and away, ball one. 1-0. Beaver Baseball is brought to you by Pacific Source Health Plans, with plans for individuals, families, employers, and Medicare eligibles. Pacific Source does what's right, not just what's required. Vasquez hits one off the end of the bat, a fly ball into shallow center field. Coming in, losing his cap, is center fielder Trevor Smith to make the catch, and there are quickly two down. Jacob Galloway, the batter, and Jimmy, the operative word is quickly.
I think the more we see Nick Lewis, the more we realize his best pitch is his changeup. That was just both of the outs this inning were on changeups, but he's not afraid to use his fastball, and he's unpredictable. Sometimes I think, okay, this is a fastball count, changeup, and then he'll throw a changeup. He's likely to throw more than two in a row. Like fastballs, he'll throw 4 or 5 in a row. Same with the changeup.
He starts Jacob Galloway with a breaking ball in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. 2 down, nobody on. Bottom of the fourth of a 1-1 tie. Galloway with a run batted in to get the Beavers on the board in the second. Swings, and it's a line drive at right fielder Max Hartman, who comes in to make the catch, and it's the easiest inning of the day for Cougar left-hander Nick Lewis. So the Beavers open the door, giving up the unearned run, and Lewis does his job by coming back and promptly retiring the Beavers 1-2-3. So as always, the fight is on. We go to the fifth. The Cougars won, the Beavers won on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Hello, is this Pacific Source Health Plans?
This is a health plan.
I'm trying to reach Pacific Source. I know I'll get a person on the phone when I call them.
What do you think I am?
I mean, you sound like a person.
That's what counts.
Automated systems can do a lot, even sound a lot like people. What automated systems can't do is offer the quality our members rely on: empathy. When you call Pacific Source Health Plans, you'll talk to a person who cares.
What did you say your name was?
Nexa 9000.
It's time to give the home team the advantage. For all your homeowner needs, turn to the Beaver Home Team. WaFd Bank is your local business, providing outstanding service for your local home banking needs. You can count on WaFd Bank to help you score big for your banking needs. Check out osubeavers.com/home team to see what the Beaver Home Team can do for you. Go local and go Beavs.
Oregon State Credit Union, the official credit union of OSU Athletics. Join today. Visit OregonStateCU.com/join. A 1-1 tie, the Beavers and Cougs, as we go to the top of the fifth inning. The Cougs will send up Cam McLeod, who will be followed by Kyler Northrup, then the top of the order, and Trevor Smith. Mike Parker and Jim Wilson coming to you from the John Conrad Press Box, named in honor of abandoned high school graduate, the outstanding writer, John Conrad, who pitched at Oregon for the late Don Kirsch, 1965 to 1967, and passed away suddenly at the age of 57 back in 2002. And friends and colleagues put together this press box when PK Park was built in the honor of an outstanding journalist, good man, and John Conrad. The first pitch to Cam McLeod, off speed, a check swing, but McLeod goes around in the judgment of home plate umpire Kevin Sweeney. 0-1 the count. Lost in the disappointment of last inning. Fastball swung on and missed in the count 0-2. We were kind of preoccupied, Jimmy, with the Beavers giving up the unearned run, but Kleinschmidt struck out the last two guys in the inning and looked good doing it. An important strikeout to leave the go-ahead run at third. He's ahead now to McLeod, 0-2. In the top of the fifth of this 1-1 tie. Fastball outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
The Cougars played at a run without putting the ball in play. I mean, it ultimately is the almost the definition of a giveaway run.
1 ball and 2 strikes to McLeod, who struck out on his first at-bat. Kleinschmidt to the plate, and he strikes out again. Fastball swung on and missed. Really nasty pitch down and in on McLeod. 3 straight strikeouts for Ethan Kleinschmidt, 6 in the ball game. And Kyler Northrup, the batter. Northrup hit the line drive that Paul Vasquez made an outstanding play on in the third. We're in the fifth, 1-1. Yale and Oregon at 5. The winners meet tomorrow night back here at 6. The losers drop into the losers bracket. A tough road to hoe, obviously, and that game would be at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Showing bunt, the rangy shortstop, Kyler Northrup, takes low. Ball 1-0. Northrup out of Billings, Gil McDougall country, 6'4", a tall shortstop to be sure. We've seen more of those of late. Ivo Arquette was the great example last year with the Beavers. The 1-0 pitch, low and inside ball 2. Jimmy, traditionally, that's not a tall guy playing the sixth spot.
The thing about shortstop, and we saw it with Iva, you don't have to necessarily be fast. You just have to be quick. Your first reaction has to be quick. And if you are, then that extra height gives you extra range. And we saw that with Iva just on line drives, the plays. Yeah, he was real smooth with the glove and all that. But just he was able to take away some balls that just a shorter guy wasn't going to be able to get to.
The 2-0 pitch, a strike from Ethan. Now comes back to Northrup, 2-1. Swung on and missed again on the cutter. Cutting down and in. That's something that he's added this year under the watch of pitching coach Rich Dorman. That's been a good pitch for him, too. And he evens the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Northrup. 1 out, nobody on, a 1-1 tie in the 5th. Kleinschmidt to the plate and misses low. Ball 3-2.
I remember the best cutter that I saw in my playing days was later in my career, but Bud Black, the left-hander, not a hard thrower, but boy, his cutter was a neutralizer. And of course, from the right side, Mariano Rivera was just famous for his cutter. It was just unhittable.
The 3-2 pitch hit foul off to the left and out of play. It remains 3-2. Jimmy, you told me, though, in terms of filthy stuff, not Pedro, but Ramon Martinez.
How
did he attack you?
Well, the thing about Pedro Martinez had a better career, but Ramon Martinez had a better fastball that just flew. It just come in and would explode at like 95, 96 back then. But he had a plus changeup, and that was the thing that separated him.
3-2 the count to Kyler Northrup. 1 out, nobody on. Ethan delivers a ground ball up along third. Charged by Vasquez. Off balance throw to first is in time. 2 down. And Trevor Smith, the leadoff hitter, the batter. Another example, Jimmy, that's not a Greg Nettles-esque. Do you pull out your Brooks Robinson highlight tape and throw that in there? But there was a level of difficulty on that play, and I thought Paul made it look easy.
The key was making the good throw. He had to catch, transfer, and off the 1 foot make the throw, and that was the beauty of the play as he threw a strike to first base.
2 down, nobody on for Trevor Smith in this 1-1 tie in the 5th. Kleinschmidt to the plate, a high pop-up. Jacob Galloway keeps the mask on in foul territory, comes back and makes the catch. And Ethan Kleinschmidt with a 1-2-3 economical 5th inning. Good work on the part of both left-handers who are living up to the billing. 2 9-2 southpaws matching stuff. It has been a pitcher's duel. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It remains Washington State 1, the Beavers 1 on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Beaver Nation. Here at Mr. Plywood, we know what it means to build. Locally owned and operated for over 50 years, Mr. Plywood goes beyond building decks, storage sheds, and fences. We help build the community. We offer family-style customer service with a friendly and knowledgeable staff that will help you with your next project. If you need hardwoods, plywood, fasteners, or help planning your next project, come down and pay us a visit. We would love to help you on your next project.
You can count on Samaritan Health Services for those health moments that matter most. When facing cancer, having the right team by your side can make all the difference. The Samaritan Cancer Program brings together board-certified providers who treat all types of cancer. And beyond treatment, we surround you with supportive care, from nutrition services and financial advocacy to emotional support, so you're never facing cancer alone. Samaritan Cancer Program, close to home care, because your fight deserves the best. Visit samhealth.org/cancer.
Stop into any of your 39 neighborhood Dairy Mart stores and get what you really want fast, real fast. A 1-1 tie as we go to the bottom of the fifth inning. Nick Lewis has made just 48 pitches through 4. He has been everything that was advertised, as has Ethan Kleinschmidt. The only run for the Cougs is unearned. Jacob Craig, Tyler Inge, and Easton Talt coming up. Big Jim Wilson working alongside the OSU Hall of Famer. What a delight that is here at the Eugene Regional. As the rain intensifies, Jacob steps in and takes low and in, ball 1. Jim, this is the kind of at-bat you kind of like Jacob in right now, right?
Yeah, people always talk about the high leverage this. It's not. Like if he would have had that man on third.
1-0 pitch is roped into left center field. If it gets by Robinson, it'll be extra bases, and it does. Trevor Smith plays it at the base of the fence in left center. And Jacob Craig into second with the leadoff double.
You don't see too many ground balls by the shortstop that make it all the way to the wall in left center, but that's how hard this ball was hit. And again, just free and easy. I mean, yeah, what can happen? You strike out, so what? You know, it's no different than a fly out or a ground out or anything else. And he smashed that ball. The shortstop literally dove for the ball, thought he had a shot at it, and it got all the way to the fence for a leadoff double.
Jacob Craig in his first start since at UC Irvine back on March 21st. 1 for 2, and now a bunt pushed down by Tyler Inge. That'll move Jacob Craig to third. The toss to first from the pitcher, Nick Lewis, not in time. Safe is the call by Ryan Broussard, and the Beavers have runners at the corners and nobody out. Washington State has already indicated that they want to challenge the call. Jimmy, I don't know how you saw it with the naked eye in real time, but the toss from Lewis was kind of a change-up toss.
Yeah, that's the problem with ever going underhand in a situation where it's going to be tough. You got to get that. The ball has to zip over there. It has to go faster than the runner. And I thought he was out.
So did I. And so the review will tell.
Yeah.
But
I thought it was close.
Even so, Jimmy, best case scenario, of course, the call is upheld and he's safe. First and third, nobody out. But Inge got his job done. You have Craig at third with 1 out, even if the call is overturned. And that's not a bad position to be in with Easton Talt coming up.
Yeah, my hunch was just when I saw it in real time that he was out.
I agree.
But, of course, we don't have a very good view and vantage point. We're looking from behind where the runner is. But I always like, especially when I'm hoping it goes our way, the umpire had a whole lot better look than we did, and he called him safe. So I'm hoping that the Beavers, because that out is a big out. If he's safe, Talt will bunt.
Yeah,
it'll just be a safety squeeze situation.
First and third at the moment. We'll see if that is upheld or overturned. As home plate umpire Kevin Sweeney declares, he's out.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was my fear.
Yeah. It's a great job by Inge. A beautiful bunt. He put the pressure on the Cougs to make a play. And Nick Lewis barely did. 1 away, the 8th sacrifice hit of the season for Inge, which leads the club. A 1-1 tie in the bottom of the 5th inning. And now the head coach who handles all of the pitching visits and changes, Nathan Choate, on his way out to the mound for a conversation about the approach here with Talt. Nathan Choate was the head coach at Loyola Marymount from 2020 through 2023. And he's in his 4th year now at Washington State, 2-year pitching coach at San Diego, 5 years in the same role at Grand Canyon, 4 years at UC Riverside. He pitched for a couple of years at Santa Ana Junior College, and then a couple of years at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Good baseball man, and has really done a nice job with the Cougs this year. They played their first 19 games of the year, Jimmy, on the road, and were 7-12. But they've come in on a roll. They have won 7 of their last 8 series and 6 consecutive series to end the year. The first time they had done that since 1995. The first year following the Bobo Brayton era. You remember Bobo a little bit.
I do remember Bobo. Yeah, he serves as his own pitching coach. Right. And they had a miserable year a year ago. And the fact that they turned it around, and they did go through a tournament and win it. And so they're coming in hot.
He leaves back to the dugout by himself. The first pitch with the infield drawn in on this damp field turf in Eugene is high to Easton. Ball 1-0. A 1-1 tie. Jacob Craig at third. 1 out, and the Cougs indeed playing the infield in with Easton Tall just trying to find a way to get Craig home and give the Beavers the lead back. He looks at a breaking ball down and away. I thought the first pitch was a called ball. It went the other way and was a strike, so the count is even now. 1-1 to Tall, who was grounded to second and flied to right.
Sweeney's strike call, he goes straight towards the pitcher with it. Sometimes it's hard from our vantage point to see that. I thought it was a ball as well.
The 1-1 pitch from Lewis, a fly ball that'll get the run home. Great job by Tall to left center field. Going back on the ball is Robinson. He makes the catch. Tagging up is Jacob Craig and will score. Easton Tall with a sacrifice fly. The Beavers regain the lead at 2-1.
Well, that ball certainly caught on the warning track by Robinson, but that's just classic. Get them on, get them over, get them in. Oregon State executing the game beautifully to get that second run.
2-1 Beavers. A.J. Singer, the batter. A.J.'s been hit by a pitch and popped out to his counterpart, Gavin Roy, the Cougs' second baseman. Excellent job by the Beavs to regain the lead. Singer looks at a breaking ball strike. The count 0-1. Beaver Baseball brought to you by your local Toyota dealers, a proud sponsor of Oregon State's Road to Omaha. Toyota, let's go places. The strike one pitch is hooked foul into what is almost a sea of orange in the grandstand down the left field line. A really good turnout, Jim, as we expected from Beaver Nation. A lot of orange. The orange ponchos out on this wet Friday afternoon in Eugene. 2-1 Beavers in the bottom of the fifth. Singer hits a towering pop fly into that sprinkly sky. The shortstop, Kyler Northrup, stays with it for a long time and makes the catch. But welcome back Jacob Craig to the starting lineup. A one-out double, and it's Craig who scores the go-ahead run on the sacrifice fly by Easton Talt. A leadoff double for Craig, sacrificed to third by Inge, and Talt gets the job done with a sac fly. Ethan Kleinschmidt will wait before getting his warm-up tossers going because the mound getting some handiwork. It's getting a little bit damp in the landing area for the pitchers pushing off the rubber. So some diamond dry type substance being poured in to the dirt portion, the only dirt at PK Park. The mound, everything else turf. The Beavers regain the lead. We go to the sixth. The Beavers 2, the Cougars 1 on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
OSU football fans, it's time to stack up savings on Bobcat equipment with Wilson Equipment. Now is the best time to buy Bobcat equipment. Take advantage of new savings on bundled attachments, extended warranties, financing as low as 0% for up to 48 months, and thousands of dollars in cash rebates. Wilson Equipment has the Bobcat gear you need to get the job done right. Don't miss out on these unbeatable offers. Visit Wilson Equipment in Medford, Eugene, and Salem today and stack up your savings on the best Bobcat equipment around. Terms and conditions apply. Visit wilsonequipment.net for details.
Mitch Canham teaches his team the values of hard work, dedication, and swinging for the fences. That's the same philosophy at Umpqua Dairy. For over 90 years, they've produced award-winning ice cream. Just like the Beavers baseball team, Umpqua Dairy has picked up its fair share of national championships through the years. Check out their flavor of the month at umpquadairy.com and find their Oregon-made ice cream at your favorite grocery store. Umpqua Dairy and OSU baseball, a home run combination. Top of the sixth inning in Eugene, the Beavers leading the Cougars 2-1. Beaver baseball is brought to you by Umpqua Dairy, a Northwest favorite since 1931. You talk about that year, an important year for Umpqua Dairy, certainly, to establish itself as one of the great businesses in the Beaver State. A guy named Buck Bailey had been establishing himself as the legendary Cougar coach in 1927, was the head coach from 27 through 42. that event known as World War II occurred. They kept playing baseball, and Jack Friel came out of the gym to coach Cougar baseball 43-45 before the Bobo Brayton era, 1962 to 1994. Gavin Roy takes high and away from Ethan Kleinschmidt, who has 8 strikeouts through his first 5 innings. The 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed by Roy, who has bunted out and grounded to third. Kleinschmidt about to make his 69th pitch of the afternoon with a 2-1 lead in the 6th. Fastball a little bit high, ball 2, 2-1. Gavin Roy, Max Hartman, and Matt Priest. It was beginning to rain a little bit heavily, and now it's lightening up a little bit. Just a gentle mist at the moment over PK Park. The outfield alignment very shallow here. The 2-1 pitch, fastball to Roy, swung on and missed. And the count 2-2 to the Cougars' leading hitter. 2-1 Beavers in the 6th.
You're talking about Bobo in his 33 years. Then they kind of bounced around there. Steve Farrington, Tim Mooney, Donnie Marbett, Marty Lees, who we've obviously familiar with, and then Brian Green before Nathan Choate.
The 2-2 pitch, high and away, ball 3. Marty had Dan Spencer on his staff. Brian Green was a former assistant to Pat Casey as well. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Donnie took the Cougars, Donnie Marbett did, to their last NCAA tournament back in 2010 until this appearance this year. The 3-2 pitch is high and away for ball 4. Kleinschmidt has been excellent today. There's no question about that, Jimmy. He hasn't allowed a hit, for one. The run is unearned. But, he has hit 3 batters, and he's now walked 2, and the rub here, it's a leadoff walk in the 6th.
And he missed bad. If you're close, and Roy's a swinger. He's a free swinger. He's a short guy, but he's a free swinger. You put it close, he's going to take a rip, but it was just too high.
Max Hartman, the batter, a throw to first, and Gavin Roy back. Gavin 3 for 5 in stolen bases. 2-1 Beavers. Ethan Kleinschmidt pitching a brilliant ball game, but has been a touch erratic. It cost him a run, unearned albeit, in the 4th inning. Comes to the plate to Hartman, who shows bunt, looks at a breaking ball away, ball 1, 1-0.
And I think Hartman is serious about this. Sometimes you just want to you're going to go fake bunt just to see if you can get a ball out of it. But lefty, I think they're going to try to sacrifice right here.
He has 2 sacrifices on the year. He bunts in the air, foul, back of the plate. The count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Pretty fierce bunt that got to the netting in a hurry. 1 ball and 1 strike to Max Hartman, with Gavin Roy drawing the leadoff walk, representing the tying run here in the 6th inning.
That wasn't just a complete, I'm going to give myself up. There was still a little bit of bunt for hit in that.
Kleinschmidt from the stretch. Vasquez creeping in on the artificial turf from third. A throw to first, not a bad move. And Gavin Roy gets back. And now Nathan Choate wants an offensive timeout here. It's the head coach calling it. He generally delegates his offensive calls and execution to Eric Cutting. But Choate calls this one. He's got something he wants to impart.
I think he's talking to Hartman about just what I mentioned, that if you're going to sacrifice, get it turned around, because you could just bunt it. With a man on first, it's the easiest sacrifice because you just bunt it to the first baseman who has to stay back to hold the runner. It's a really, really easy situation. Whereas if you've got a man on, say, second and you're trying to bunt, now the third baseman can charge, the first baseman can completely leave and come in. So I think he just told him, look, if we're going to sacrifice, just square around and get this thing done.
1 ball and 1 strike to Max Hartman. Gavin Roy, the tying run at first. Nobody out. Roy goes. The pitch is pop foul back of the plate. Jacob Galloway comes back as far as he can, but this one gets into the seats. A couple of rows back behind home plate before this Beaver crowd at PK Park. I've seen this over the years a lot. The last couple of years during Beaver games against their rival down here, Oregon fans have shown up in greater numbers than those early years, but it's a decidedly Oregon State crowd here today in Eugene. 1-2 the count to Hartman, 2-1 Beavers in the 6th. Gavin Roy was going on a hit and run play. Now the breaking ball from Ethan Kleinschmidt misses outside, ball 2, 2-2.
Shooting down my whole theory about let's get that bunt down. They rolled the dice and went hit and run.
2-2 the count. Kleinschmidt from the stretch. Ethan to the plate. Punched into the air. Could be trouble in shallow right center field. And a diving attempt made by Haight. He can't get it, and it falls in for a base hit. Soon as the ball left his bat, Jimmy, I was worried, and for good reason. It's a bloop single for Max Hartman, and the Cougars threatening runners at first and second, nobody out. And Matt Priest coming up. First hit of the game for the Cougs, and it's a blooper that gets it done.
That's the thing about baseball. Kleinschmidt did his job. I mean, he got to the knuckles of Hartman, and that ball, you said it right off the bat, it punched, because basically what he did, he didn't hit it, he punched it, and it just fell right in front of the two outfielders.
Matt Priest, right-handed hitter, the batter, and with the bunt on, here comes Rich Dorman now. The bunt was on for Hartman. Priest is sacrificed once, but he is a right-handed hitter, a .366 hitter, but I think the bunt's in order here, too, for the Cougs, Jimmy.
I don't think that you can't squander this opportunity if you're Washington State. You have first and second, nobody out. If I'm Nathan Schote, I'm bunting. Good runner, too, at second base. Both of them, two good runners out there. So if you're able to advance those guys to second and third, you got a lot of things to work with there.
Rich Dorman out to the mound for a conversation with the battery of Jacob Galloway and starting pitcher Ethan Kleinschmidt. Albert Robles has trotted in from the Beavers bullpen. He went down to give a report. It's not quite Robles' time yet, but the Beavers do have some activity going in their bullpen beyond the fence in right field, with Ethan Kleinschmidt now up to his 78th pitch of the game coming up. 2-1 Beavers, but the Cougs with a big threat. A leadoff walk, a bloop single. First and second, nobody out. Matt Priest has been hit by a pitch and struck out. Kleinschmidt delivers. Priest not bunting. Full swing and fouls it back. No balls and one strike.
Well, he took a rip, though.
Yeah. Priest is the cleanup hitter. .366 with 37 runs batted in.
Really does open the door. You can see Paul Vasquez, even if not even slightly in front of the bag.
The strike one pitch, chop foul towards the Cougar dugout, and Ethan is quickly ahead of Priest, 0-2.
You could definitely see that Priest is a pull guy. I'm looking at the grounded into double plays. He has yet to, so he's due.
Good way to look at it. 2 on, nobody out, 2-1 Beavers. The strike two pitch, a check swing on a fastball, no swing, and the count goes to 1-2. It's kind of a Bryce Hubbard type check swing.
Yeah.
Pretty quick, violent check swing. It is a ball, and the count 1-2.
Yeah, Priest has a lot of movement.
Yeah.
And he's not one of those guys who's quiet in there. He's making a lot of noise.
Gavin Roy at second, Max Hartman at first, nobody out, 2-1 Beavers. A throw to second base from Kleinschmidt, throwing it to A.J. Singer, and Gavin Roy back in. Obviously, in the sixth inning, a one-run game. Huge moment for Kleinschmidt and the Beavers. Some activity beginning behind him. Dustin Robinson, left-handed hitter on deck. Kleinschmidt out of the stretch. The pitch to Priest, hit sharply into left field. Base hit. Gavin Roy will score. Stopping at second base is Max Hartman. And the Cougars have pulled even at 2 on the RBI single from Max Priest.
2-strike changeup. And they kind of got what they wanted. Priest out front a little bit, but he did, even though he was fooled with his body, he made good contact with the bat. And that brings up a left-hander who I think will bunt at this point.
A 2-2 tie. Dustin Robinson, the batter, has grounded his second and been hit by a pitch. The Beavers have clearly had their difficulties with left-hander Nick Lewis, and Coach Cho trying to stake Lewis to a lead. Nick last week went 8 2/3 with 11 strikeouts in the Mountain West Conference tournament. So you know how the Cougars are thinking, give that guy a lead, we're good to go from here.
He has a complete game. I mean, in this day and age, you don't see very many. A 9-inning complete game.
Robinson is bunting. He takes a strike. The count 0-1. 2 on and nobody out in the top of the sixth inning of a 2-2 tie. Kleinschmidt up to 82 pitches in the ball game now. And the Cougs trying to get their first lead. The strike one pitch is bunted foul, back of the plate into the netting just to our left. And the count goes to no balls and 2 strikes to Robinson, who has just 1 sacrifice bunt on the season. Coach Hutting has to make a decision now whether to leave it on, and he just might. 0-2 with runners at first and second, nobody out, a 2-2 tie. Kleinschmidt ready, the bunt not on, and the fastball up and away. 1-2 the count.
Boy, that 1-strike fastball just right at him. That is the hardest pitch to bunt. I mean, you almost become, it's self-defense just to try to bunt it as opposed to just pulling that bat back.
The 1-2 fastball just inside under the hands of Robinson to even the count at 2-2 in a 2-2 tie in the top of the 6th inning. The Cougars with 2 on and nobody out. Max Hartman at second, Matt Priest at first. Ethan Kleinschmidt with a big pitch right here to the left-hand hitting Dustin Robinson. Delivers it 2-2, chop foul back at first. An Olay act by first base coach Dan Bauer. The ball rolling down the line in foul grounds. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes.
This is where I was talking off air with you, Mike, about him being able to land a breaking ball. The 2-2 is a big one.
And a left-handed hitter up there in Dustin Robinson against the southpaw Kleinschmidt. 2 on, nobody out, and a 2-2 tie. Ethan to the plate, fastball, foul back. Good job by Robinson to get a piece of the high fastball and stay alive. 2-2 the count. Oregon State baseball brought to you by P3 Health Partners of Oregon. P3 Health Partners, a proud partner of the Oregon State Beavers. Another 2-2 pitch coming, a check swing, taken, swing, says third base umpire Nick Mull. 1 away, and a huge first out in the inning for Ethan Kleinschmidt's 9th strikeout. And that'll bring to the plate Ryan Shawnsby. Good pitch to induce the check on the part of Ethan Kleinschmidt.
I was a little surprised that the Beavers got that call, and if I was a Cougar fan, I think surprise wouldn't be my response. And Robinson, a very slow walk back with a lot of glare out to third base umpire.
Ethan Kleinschmidt with his 9th strikeout. Ryan Shawnsby takes a fastball high, ball 1. Still plenty of work to do for Ethan, who will be making his 90th pitch in his next offering. 102 pitches, his season high against Cal Poly about 2 months ago. The 1-0 pitch, a towering foul ball to the right side. Jacob Craig comes over as far as he can, and this one lands in the party territory down the right field line. Foul territory, as they call it here, F-O-W-L. And beaver-clad orange and black fan grabs it for the souvenir, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike to Shawnsby. 2 on, 1 out, a 2-2 tie in the 6th.
If he gets this out, it could be his last. The Beavers have, not sure who, but it's a right-hander. I do know that.
The runners go. The pitch is fouled back. At least the runner jumping from second base. Max Hartman, their leading base stealer, with 18. Had a good jump. If that pitch was taken or swung and missed, they'd have a runner at third with 1 out. A good jump by Hartman. 1 ball and 2 strikes in a tense situation at PK Park in Eugene. The winners play tomorrow night. Yale and Oregon coming up at 5, and the 2 winners meet tomorrow here at 6. Kleinschmidt delivers a fly ball to left. Josh Proctor started back, now moves over. Easton Tall cuts in front of Proctor to make the catch. Not quite Joe Ferguson cutting in front of Jimmy Wynn in the 74 World Series, but Talt certainly cut in front of Proctor for the out. 2 down.
Now, the ball was hit very high. Talt was shaded towards left center. And really, there's sort of a pecking order. Center fielder has the priority. And here comes Rich Dorman.
So that's
it. So Easton cutting across with the angle toward third base. Now, this was not a tag-up situation, but when in doubt, They always told me, there's a pop-up, Jimmy, let Shaney take it.
Ollie Obenauer, the batter. Rich Dorman is out. That means a new pitcher is coming in this 2-2 tie in the 6th inning. And a guy who's had a tremendous year will get the call. That's Wyatt Queen trying to keep it a 2-2 tie in the top of the 6th inning. The call to the bullpen presented by Wilson Equipment. Stop by any Wilson Equipment location for rugged, reliable Bobcat machines that get the job done. Ethan, 5 2/3, 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 92 pitches, 9 strikeouts. Leaves to a standing ovation from Beaver Nation here in Eugene. Wyatt Queen hopes to get the 3rd out of the 6th inning, facing Ollie Obenauer when we return. A 2-2 tie in the 6th in Eugene on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Picture this, a crisp Oregon day, and you've just finished 9 holes of golf with your friend. You head to the pub, where the food is delicious, and everybody knows your name. This is life at Corvallis Club, your home away from home. Corvallis Club is a private club and 18-hole golf course in the heart of Corvallis, offering exceptional fine dining, event spaces, a seasonal heated pool, a fitness center with sauna, a 2-bedroom suite, and limousine service. Call or email our concierge today at concierge@corvallisclub.com.
It's time for today's Benny's Buddies Pet Spotlight, the official fan club for your favorite pets. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Today we're featuring Benny's Buddies member Arvo, an Australian cattle dog Chihuahua mix. Arvo loves going on walks and listening to the Beaver games on the radio. Sign up your pet today at osubeavers.com/Benny's Buddies. Each member gets an official social media filter, and Toyota and Oregon State will be giving away collars, leashes, treats, toys, and so much more.
Wyatt Queen loosening up with 2 on and 2 down for the Cougs in the top of the 6th inning. Wyatt to face Ollie Obenauer, who twice struck out against Ethan Kleinschmidt. To complete the line for Ethan, who leaves with 2 on and 2 out and a 2-2 tie in the 6th inning. He cannot win it. He's still on the hook possibly to go the other way, but can't win it. He goes 5 2/3, 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. The runners on base do belong to him. He hit 3 batters and walked 2. And here in the 6th, the leadoff walk has come back to hurt him. Wyatt Queen is trying to complete what would be a pretty impressive escape act, Jim. The tying run was in, and there were 2 on and nobody out. Now Queen looking for the 3rd out. His first pitch slider to Ollie Obenauer misses low, ball 1-0. The Cougs have pulled even, and that's to their credit. Queen, though, if he slams the door here, almost feels like he flips the momentum for the Beavers coming off the field. 2-2 with 2 on and 2 out. Wyatt from the stretch, the 1-0 pitch, a strike, and the count 1-1. And
collective moan.
Yeah, I mean, everybody for the Cougs. Nathan Choate is just stalking up and down in front of the dugout. The third base coach, Eric Cutting, came out of the box to complain about that call, and I don't blame him. The 1-1 pitch from Queen, a slider for a strike, and the count 1-2. I thought the Beavers stole one there, Jimmy.
Yeah, and the check swing earlier this inning. I think that was something. In fact, as Choate was complaining about that call, he was motioning mostly to the third baseman.
1 ball, 2
third base umpire.
The third base umpire, Nick Mull, the home plate umpire, Kevin Sweeney. Queen to the plate, the 1-2 pitch hit foul. Off to the right and out of play. 1-2 the count in this 2-2 tie in the top of the 6th inning. The Cougars with runners at first and second. Queen making his 20th appearance, 1-1, an ERA of 2.41. In 41 innings, Jimmy, 69 strikeouts.
Yeah, and it's the slider. That's his bread and butter. Got a fantastic breaking pitch.
1-2 the count with 2 on and 2 out. Wyatt to the plate. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Wyatt Queen does his thing again. And while there is disappointment, I'm sure, in Beaver Nation on one level that the Cougs pulled even, taking advantage of a leadoff walk, Kleinschmidt and Queen conspiring to get 3 outs with first and second, nobody out, and get out of it with no further damage done. Jimmy, I think the Bees feel good about where they are.
I feel really good, especially since the run was already in, and to put the book to bed on Kleinschmidt. I really only counted 2 balls that were hit hard. One play, Vasquez made at third base. That was a well-struck ball. I'll say the base hit to score the run here by Priest was well hit. Other than that, not a hard hit ball against Ethan Kleinschmidt.
The leadoff walk does come back to hurt, but the Beavers keep the damage at 1. And so we go to the bottom of the 6th in the Eugene Regional. The Cougars 2, the Beavers 2 on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Beaver fans, Oregon State's tradition of excellence is now a winning pairing with Willamette Valley Vineyards Classic Oregon Wine. As a proud wine partner of Oregon State Athletics, we invite you to join us at any of our locations for world-class Pinot Noir, Pacific Northwest-inspired cuisine, and one-of-a-kind events. Learn more and plan your visit at WVV.com. That's WVV.com. Go Beavs!
At Oregon State Credit Union, we weren't just founded in Beaver Country, we were born a Beaver and have been part of the OSU family from the start. And we're proud to be the official credit union of Oregon State University Athletics. Right now, you can earn a $300 bonus when you open any checking account. Get rewarded and bank where your Beaver pride runs deep. Join the credit union that was born a Beaver just like you. Open an account online at OregonStateCU.com/checking or visit your local branch. Federally insured by NCAA, limited time offer and some restrictions apply. Of the 6th inning, a 2-2 tie. Ethan Porter tries to bunt for a hit. Coming off to get it is Lewis, and he makes a nice play and throws to first to get Ethan Porter. Not a bad idea. Ethan trying to drag his way aboard, but he didn't quite get it up the line enough. And Nick Lewis, Jimmy, on kind of a damp turf, it's always a little bit tricky, made a fine play. 1 pitch, 1 out. The batter is Josh Proctor.
Good idea, good bunt, better defensive play by the pitcher. Fielding it, spinning, and then throwing a strike to first base. Nice job by Nick Lewis.
Josh Proctor, the batter, 0 for 2. Grounder to second, fly to center, working on a 9-game hitting streak as he stands in. He takes high and away, ball 1. A 2-2 tie in the bottom of the 6th. On the other hand, while I say good idea, you had the third baseman deep. Porter's a guy that hit the ball off the middle of the fence in his last at-bat, so he was trying to change it up. They weren't expecting that. He just didn't drag it enough. The pitch to Porter, Proctor fouled back in the count 1-1.
If the third baseman's playing back, and that's your concept, you got to make him field the ball. You can't let the pitcher make the play, and that's where Ethan got himself in trouble.
Proctor drives one to right center field. Trevor Smith on the move, and the center fielder able to get back a step or two onto the warning track and hauls it in. 2 down in the bottom of the 6th inning. And I say 2 down. That ball was well struck, but Jimmy,
the flag isn't blowing like it was.
No, it isn't. And it's also, though, too, giving Lewis a potential very economical inning to keep going back out there again. He's their best guy, and he has 2 quick outs here as he's about to make only his 62nd pitch of the game.
He threw his high this year's in the 120s in that Air Force game, 8 2/3.
123.
Yeah, but the complete game in this day and age against Fresno State, 9 innings, 101. So, I mean, he's going the distance. This is it. This is the guy the Beavers are going to see for 9 innings.
Adam Haight, cognizant of the 2 quick outs, does a nice job. He takes the first pitch up and away, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch is high for ball 2, so at least he's making Lewis work a little harder. The 2-0 pitch is a strike, and the count 2-1. You're right about that little sweep of the arm. It's tough to pick up sometimes up here from the home plate arbiter, Kevin Sweeney. But the count is 2-1, 2 down, nobody on. Adam Haight awaits. The quick-working Lewis delivers a 2-1 pitch, check, swing, and there's a makeup call, perhaps, for the benefit of the Cougs to even the count at 2-2 with 2 down. So the umpires have heard it from both sides now as we cue up Judy Collins.
Yeah, I didn't think that Adam Haight had swung at that, but you know what they say, what's good for the Cougar is good for the Beaver.
The 2-2 pitch. Haight whacks it back up the middle into center field. If he's upset by the call, he takes out his wrath on the baseball. A 2-out single for Adam Haight, and Paul Vasquez, the batter. And that's an important 2-out hit, Jim, just to kind of change things up a little bit. 2 quick outs, and the Cougars had just tied the ball game.
Leave him out there a while.
Yeah, exactly. And Vasquez is a guy. I saw him hit one to the back of the bullpen down here earlier in the year in the Beavers' victory at Oregon on the 3rd of March, a 10-6 win. He pummeled a baseball to the back of the bullpen. So you get him up there in a ballpark he's shown some life in. A throw to first and Haight back. A 2-out single for Adam. A 2-2 tie in the bottom of the 6th. Nick Lewis comes to Vasquez. Changeup swung on and missed. 0-1 the count. Paul scored the Beavers' first run. He doubled to the gap in left center field in the second inning. Came home on Jacob Galloway's opposite field double. We're even at 2 in the bottom of the 6th. Lewis to the plate. Vasquez a fly ball to center. Trevor Smith backs up, is right there to make the catch. Nick Lewis is doing his thing. He's still in the game. He's outlasted the Beavers starter, Ethan Kleinschmidt. We are through 6 with a 3-inning ball game at hand. The Cougars 2 and the Beavers 2 on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey campers, it's Jan from Toyota. This summer, we're headed to Camp Toyota, and the fun starts now. Your summer starts here.
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends June 1st. Toyota, let's go places.
First Interstate Bank is the proud sponsor of the Community Hero Program. Throughout the year, Beaver Nation has been submitting their community hero stories, and today we want to recognize Richard Wright. Richard is out there making sure our community has power. Linemen rarely get the recognition they deserve for their hard work and dedication, and Richard goes even further by supporting the Boys and Girls Club Albany Christmas Tree Auction each year to raise money for local youth. Thank you, Richard. From First Interstate Bank, proud sponsor of Beaver Athletics.
Hey campers, it's Jan from Toyota. This summer, we're headed to Camp Toyota, and the fun starts now. Your summer starts here.
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends June 1st. Toyota, let's go places.
Through 6 innings at PK Park in Eugene, the Cougars 2 runs, 2 hits, and no errors. The Beavers 2 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error. We have perhaps belabored the disparity in defensive fielding percentages both in the pregame and early in the game, Jim. But both defenses, I think, are kind of responsible for giving the other guy a run, in that the Cougars misplayed a relay play with their shortstop, not charged with an error, but did not make a sound defensive play when the Beavers scored their first run. And the Cougs get an unearned run on a throwing error to Galloway, but maybe there was something more that Paul Vasquez could have done. So the Beavers are the only team with an error with a 30 percentage point, or 30, the Cougs have made 71 errors on the season to the Beavers 30. So there's a tremendous gap there. And yet, it's the Beavs with an error on the board. It's an unearned run for the Cougs. Wyatt Queen to the plate in the first pitch to Cam McLeod. Swung on and missed. 0-1 the count, a 2-2 tie in the 7th. And as I said, Jimmy, it's kind of a 3-inning ball game now as we start over. Wyatt back to the plate, the 0-1 slider in there. Strike 2, 0-2 the count. Pretty darn good pitch for Wyatt Queen.
He's got a good slider. There's just no question about it. And his fastball has got enough juice to make you honor it.
No balls and 2 strikes to Cam McLeod, leading things off with the Cougs in the 7th. The strike 2 pitch misses outside, and the count 1-2. Wyatt working with battery mate Jacob Galloway. Jacob Craig at first, and he scored a run and has doubled today. A.J. Singer at second, Tyler Inge at short, Paul Vasquez at third, Josh Proctor in left, Easton Talt in center, Adam Haight in right. Fastball grounded to short. Inge with his first chance today. Fields and throws to Jacob Craig for the out. 1 away, and Kyler Northrup, the Cougars shortstop, will come to the plate.
Anytime when it's a little wet, you kind of always wonder, are we going to get the throw, or is it going to be one of those ones that's scored away, and Inge just fields it and just throws a strike.
The Beavers put a shift on for the right-hand hitting Northrup, swinging A.J. Singer over to the left side. Jacob Craig several steps over to his right. Northrup takes a fastball on the outside corner for a strike from Wyatt Queen. 0-1 the count, 2 down in the top of the 7th, or 1 out, pardon me. A 2-2 tie in the top of the 7th inning. The strike one pitch, slap foul into the netting back of the plate, and the count 0-2. The breezes have picked up a little bit again, blowing out towards right center field. Even so, the Beavers' outfield alignment pretty shallow. Josh Proctor, Easton Talt, and Adam Haight. Not shallow enough last inning. A bloop single got in, and the Cougs were able to pull even. The strike two pitch off speed in the turf, and the count goes to 1-2 to Northrup, the 9-hole hitter. The best defensive play of the game. Northrup hit a line drive that Paul Vasquez laid out on and caught, taking a base hit away. That's still maybe the best hit ball of the day for the Cougs, Jimmy.
No question. That's the hardest hit ball. Probably the, go ahead on.
The 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. 2 down, Northrup 0 for 3. But you're right. I think the hardest hit ball maybe by anybody today, and it was an out.
Yeah, maybe Vasquez's double, I thought was just smashed. Jacob Craig's double, though, just a one hopper through the infield. But yeah, that ball jumped off his bat back in the 3rd inning.
A really good play.
This time, Wyatt Queen, I think he missed that ball by 1.5 feet on the swing.
Trevor Smith, the batter, bunts foul back of the plate in the count 0-1. Trevor walked on 4 pitches to open the game. Later in that 1st inning, Ethan Kleinschmidt hit Matt Priest, but Ethan got out of that. The Beavers scored in the 2nd inning. The Cougs pulled even in the 4th. The Beavers regained the lead in the 5th. The Cougs pulled even in the 6th. We're tied 2-2 in the 7th. 2 outs, nobody on. The strike one pitch is in the turf in the count 1-1. Yale and Oregon at 5. Jimmy, what do you know about Yale? I mean, they're the outlier coming into this Pacific Northwest Regional. What do you know about them?
They do a pretty good job from the mound, and they do have a guy that's very good. Who was an All-American last year, and they have another guy behind him, also very good starting pitcher. I think I mentioned it before. They're all right-handed. They don't have a left-handed pitcher on their roster, and they've got only one left-handed bat of the guys that play, and he's only got about 25 at-bats all season. So they are a right-handed dominant team, both from the mound and at the plate.
I think
and they steal a lot of bases.
Okay, yeah.
They steal a ton of bases.
Wyatt Queen to the plate and hits Trevor Smith.
He swung.
And the Beavers are saying, did he swing at the pitch? And they're asking, and the answer is no swing. And Trevor Smith will walk down to first after getting hit by the pitch, and no one knew if it was a 1-2 pitch or a 2-1 pitch, except maybe the umpiring crew. One scoreboard reading had 2-1, which was what I had, but the official NCAA score page had 1-2.
I don't think you can review swing, but I thought he offered at the pitch, which it negates a hit by pitch. It'd go as a strike.
Instead, another hit batter. The 4th of the day issued by Beaver pitching. It puts Trevor Smith at first base with 2 down in a 2-2 tie. Jacob Craig holding Smith on. First pitch fastball to Gavin Roy. Foul back. 0-1 the count. Trevor Smith, and I get this in from my good friend B.G. Gould, the de facto mayor of Medford, has texted me and called me twice at Trevor Smith, like his brother Austin Smith, both former members of the Medford Rogues in Southern Oregon. Great kid. His father, Brian Smith, was a Mariners draft pick in '95. Beej, that's for you, but I appreciate the nugget.
Is Austin Smith was St. Mary's or one of the California schools?
San Diego. University of San Diego for Austin, a 10th round pick last year. Good baseball family. Trevor Smith getting hit by a pitch, finished the season on a strong note. He's held on by Craig in this 2-2 tie, a throw to first, and again, back to the bag goes Trevor. 3 for 5 in stolen bases. Top of the 7th inning of a 2-2 tie. Gavin Roy has bunted out, grounded out, and he drew the leadoff walk last inning and scored the tying run. Queen throws again over to first base, and again, Trevor Smith dives back. Trevor Smith was a two-way player of the year, or his brother Austin, I should say, playing at San Diego, was a two-way player of the year, named after John Olerud. A bunt Bunted foul into the mid of Jacob Galloway, and the count 0-2 to Gavin Roy. Olerud was a pretty good Coug, Jimmy. How about that year he had in 88? 88.
20-something home runs and 15-1 on the mound. Yeah, you're going to clean me up
15-0 on the mound. He hit 444 with 16 homers and 81 runs batted in. That's a year.
And how many homers?
23.
20. That's not bad.
No,
I'll just take the 15-0.
He
You had me there.
National Player of the Year in 88. The pitch missing down and away in the count 1-2 for the Cougs.
Darn near 400 in the big leagues one year.
In 1993, he pushed it. Yeah, he hit 363, but he was on the 400 chase for much of that year.
Yeah,
just 5 years later. 54 doubles that year, 33 intentional walks to tie Teddy Ballgame's record at the time. Another throw to first, Trevor Smith back.
Not sure what it is about the Cougs and what they think they can do with the bunt game, but Gavin Roy should swing the bat and hit a double.
There goes the runner, the 1-2 pitch. He may get a base hit out of it. A grounder wide of third. Vasquez to his left, fields and throws to Jacob Craig for the out to retire the side. Well done by both corner defenders. Vasquez charging and big Jacob Craig stretching out to gather it in. And the Cougs leave the go-ahead run on base. We go to the bottom of the seventh inning. Washington State 2, the Beavers 2. On the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Join us for the opening weekend of the Division I NCAA Baseball Championship as we bring you all the action on Learfield's Regional Rundown Show. From foul pole to foul pole, we'll cover every game with live play-by-play, highlights, and scores as they happen all weekend long. Live on the free Varsity Network app, join our crew starting Friday, May 29th as we go game to game across the 16 regional sites. Slide headfirst into the Regional Rundown exclusively on the Varsity Network app.
Play ball!
Thieves.
Picture this, a crisp Oregon day, and you've just finished 9 holes of golf with your friend. You head to the pub, where the food is delicious, and everybody knows your name. This is like at Corvallis Club, your home away from home. Corvallis Club is a private club and 18-hole golf course in the heart of Corvallis, offering exceptional fine dining, event spaces, a seasonal heated pool, a fitness center with sauna, a 2-bedroom suite, and limousine service. Call or email our concierge today at concierge@corvallisclub.com.
And we've struck out 11.
Bottom of the seventh inning, a 2-2 tie. Switch to the wireless service that's built for Beaver Nation with plans starting at $15 a month. Beavs Mobile supports OSU every time you pay your bill. Learn more at beavsmobile.com. And before we see what unfolds against the ultra-efficient lefty Nick Lewis in the bottom of the seventh of a 2-2 tie, just shy of 2 o'clock on this damp, overcast day, the sun trying to fight its way through. We want to pause, let our network stations identify themselves. 10-second break for station ID. This is Beaver Baseball from Learfield. I say ultra efficient, and that's not hyperbolic in nature. Nick Lewis to the plate. Jacob Galloway, a grounder to short, fielded by Kyler Northrup, throws across the diamond to get Galloway. 1 pitch, 1 out, just 69 pitches now with 1 out, nobody on in the bottom of the seventh. For Jacob Craig, who swings at a changeup and doesn't get it, the count 0-1 in a 2-2 tie. Bottom of the seventh inning. Lewis is cruising, Jimmy.
Yeah, he certainly hasn't. Lewis has done that before. First pitch out, he comes back and he throws a breaking ball. When you're supposed to just throw a fastball strike, it's a free strike. And Jacob, that's what Jacob was thinking. Here we go, fastball strike, and he's going to homer, which is a good idea. I mean,
he swings at a 1-1 pitch here and slices it foul down the right field line and well out of play. 1-2 the count. Yeah, right. swinging for the homer and getting one. Pretty good strategy. Good idea. The 1-2 pitch to Craig. Breaking ball in the turf, ball 2. And we saw Jacob get on a pitch in his last at-bat and rip a ball that I thought might have been a ground out, but it was smoked and got by the shortstop Northrup and went for a double, and Jacob scored the Beavers' second run. He swings and drives one to left. Back on the ball goes Robinson, still drifting back at the fence, makes the catch. Jacob just missed it, but I never bought into it, Jimmy. Never thought it had a chance, and it had a chance, but Robinson hauls it in. It was the type of swing that you were looking for, that Gippy and Mitch were looking for, why he's in the lineup. That kind of swing, that he just missed it. 2 down, and Tyler Inge, the batter.
And the park is not playing small today, like people have talked about over the course of the last few seasons. It's held a couple of potential home run balls. Porter for one, and then this one here, I thought it had a legitimate chance.
Robinson, the outfielder, told me otherwise, right? I mean, I saw the way Dustin was going back.
He eased
back and never felt that he was in trouble. Inge taking the first pitch outside from Nick Lewis. The 1-0 pitch in there for a strike. 1-1 the count, 2 down, nobody on. A 1-1 tie in the 7th. Nick Lewis just keeps getting outs, and he'll get one here. Inge, a fly ball to right. Max Hartman moves over. He'll defer now to the center fielder, Trevor Smith, who makes the catch. He is as good as advertised, if not better. Nick Lewis hasn't walked anybody, hasn't struck out anybody. He's pitched the Cougs through 7 in the Eugene Regional and has plenty of pitches left in him. Great outing for Nick Lewis. We go to the 8th, the Cougars 2, the Beavers 2, on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Blue Sun Inc. Employment Services is your local nonprofit dedicated to providing employment opportunities to veterans and those facing physical and economic challenges within our community. Founded by a veteran in 2013, Blue Sun Inc. has helped more than 2,500 people find employment opportunities, resulting in more than $21 million in net wages going back to the local economy. To learn more about Blue Sun Inc. and how you can help provide employment opportunities, please visit bluesuninc.com. Blue Sun Inc. Employment Services, proud to partner with Oregon State Athletics. Go Beavs!
Today we're going to talk about deep breathing, something we all need to do more of, especially when you're getting ready to call your health plan and deal with one of those automated phone trees. You know how it feels to get into an endless phone loop when you just have a simple question that could take 2 minutes or less, and then pretty soon, you've lost your zen.
Shouldn't your health plan help you reduce stress? That's why you'll talk to a real person when you choose Pacific Source Health Plans.
Tranquility.
All health plans do what's required. Pacific Source Health Plans does more than that. They provide human service, not automated phone trees, and they offer extra support for members who may be struggling. Pacific Source Health Plans going beyond what's required to put members first. Another very efficient inning for Cougar left-hander Nick Lewis. And we go to the 8th. In a 2-2 tie, Nick Lewis has been a wonderkind this year for Nathan Choate and Washington State, looking for his 10th win today as southpaw out of Santiago High School in Corona, California in the Southland. Has done his job. It's not over with, but I mean, he's gone through 7 and kept the Beavers to 2 runs. Wyatt Queen now deals with Max Hartman, the middle of the order for the Cougs, 3, 4, and 5. And the first pitch is about a 57-footer that bounced off the home plate umpire, Kevin Sweeney. Sweeney walks out to Wyatt Queen. I don't know if he's saying, you owe me an apology, big man, or what?
I think he's walking it off.
He walks almost all the way out to the mound before delivering a baseball to Queen, a new one to work with, and Queen had kind of a sheepish grin on his face. 1 ball and no strikes. Sweeney settles back in behind Jacob Galloway. 1-0 to Max Hartman, who's had a good ball game. Hit by a pitch and scored in the 4th. Got the first hit of the day for the Cougs, that bloop single in the 6th that led to the Cougs pulling even at 2. We're in the 8th, the 2-2 tie. Queen's 1-0 pitch misses outside, ball 2, 2-0. White's 2-0 pitch, swung on and missed, and the count 2-1.
I think that's that straight change, Mike, that you're talking about.
Good pitch. If Queen throws that in the mix.
Oh, my. Yeah, especially versus the left-hander. I think with the right-handers, he'll be pretty much slider.
The 2-1 pitch to Hartman, swung on and missed on the fastball. That evens the count at 2-2. Max Hartman, Matt Priest, and Dustin Robinson in the 8th of a 2-2 tie. Good ball game, and we anticipated that it indeed would be in these two old rivals from the ancient of days in our great conference. The Beavers, a charter member of it, back in the meeting in the downtown Portland Hotel in 1950. Ground ball into right field, base hit. Good piece of work by Max Hartman, who is their best runner. He gets a base hit to lead off the 8th, and the Cougs, again, are the team putting much more pressure on all day long, quite frankly, Jimmy, than the Beavers have the other way. It's been a pretty smooth road for Lewis, whereas the Beavers are kind of dealing with a lot of stuff. They've done a good job to escape some tough situations, and here's another one now.
I didn't really look at the defensive alignment before the at-bat. The ball off the bat, I thought was a grounder to first base, but Craig was on the line, but didn't attempt to. He was the only guy who had a chance to field the ball. He should have tried to make a play on that ball. Instead, his instinct was just to go to the bag, and so the ball just really nobody even came close to it.
Matt Priest, the designated hitter, takes outside ball 1-0. A 2-2 tie in the 8th with a go-ahead run in Max Hartman, a leadoff single at first base. The Cougs will put pressure on and getting their leadoff man on much more often than have the Beavs. The 1-0 pitch to Priest hit foul off to the right and out of play. To wit, the Cougars with a leadoff man aboard in the 1st, in the 4th, in the 6th, and now here in the 8th. Max Hartman, 18 for 21 in stolen bases, held on by Jacob Craig. A 2-2 tie in the top of the 8th inning. One on and nobody out. The Beavers, on the other hand, just taking a look in terms of pressure from the get-go in an inning, just one time have they had their leadoff man aboard. And that led to a run, Jacob Craig. The 1-1 pitch to Priest, taken for a strike, and the count 1-2. Priest is inquiring of Sweeney, did I swing? Is that a called strike? Maybe both.
Yeah, well, it was a swing, I think, given the low bar that it takes to earn that. And this is a good matchup, and Oregon State needs this out right here.
The 1-2 pitch with Hartman going is whacked into left field, base hit. Hartman will keep on going to third, and he'll get there. And here come the Cougs, red hot, Mountain West Tournament champions, 1st and 3rd, nobody out. Continuing their momentum from last weekend and these last 6 weekend series. All the pressure in the world on the Beavers now. You give Nick Lewis a lead, the Cougs think they're going to win, and they just might. 1st and 3rd, nobody out.
And you got to credit the Cougars for being the aggressor in this game. They've run probably 4 or 5 times. A couple of, not many of them have amounted to much. A couple of foul balls during the process. But here, that was a huge play. Without the runner, that's a double play ball. But they're running. The shortstop goes to cover. The ball pours into left field. And like you said, here come the Cougars.
Yeah, and the thing, too, Jimmy, is even the run that they scored, their first run, was unearned, but it came on the function of a 2-2 count that went 3-2, and they ran. Beavers get a strikeout on a 3-2 pitch with the runner breaking to third. The ensuing throw from Jacob Galloway got by Paul Vasquez. So that aggressiveness on the base paths enabled them to score a run. They've been very aggressive on the back.
Yeah, they've been much more aggressive than Oregon State. Oregon State doesn't have that many runners, and Hartman is their best runner, so it's a pretty safe thing to have him go. It might have just been a straight steal.
1st and 3rd, nobody out in a 2-2 tie in the top of the 8th inning. The Beaver infielders had double play depth. The first pitch bounced by Wyatt Queen. 1 ball and no strikes. Wow, this is tough. Mainly, I say it's tough because of the way Lewis is pitching.
Lewis on the other side, yeah.
And he's got plenty left in the tank. So a gigantic situation for Wyatt Queen and the Beavers trying to work their way through. Max Hartman at third, Matt Priest at first, nobody out. The 1-0 pitch is outside to Dustin Robinson, ball 2. Dustin is grounded to second, been hit by a pitch and struck out. The Cougar fans have been making plenty of noise, and well, they should, but Beaver Nation responding with a rhythmical chant, clapping their hands. Let's go Beavers, let's go Beavers. Wyatt Queen to the plate, misses inside, ball 3, 3-0.
Wyatt didn't like it. He caught the ball, stepped back.
Well, he's seen the pitch called a strike in the game, that same pitch.
Yeah.
And he thought he had executed a pitch to get to 2-1. Instead, 3-0. Ryan Shonsby on deck. Nobody out, first and third in this 2-2 tie. The 3-0 pitch is a strike, and the count 3-1. Jimmy, I cannot tell from our distance here in the John Conrad press box whether the Beavers have anybody going. I can't tell.
But it doesn't look like it.
No, it doesn't. The 3-1 pitch swung on and fouled back, and the count 3-2 to Dustin Robinson, the left-hand hitting Ryan Shonsby on deck.
Obviously, the Beavers looking for a strikeout would be the best thing. Infield pop-up obviously would do the job. A double play, you'd almost sign off on it just because of the situation here. There's no outs.
First and third, nobody out. A 2-2 tie in the 8th. Queen to the plate. The 3-2 pitch swung on and tapped foul by the left-hand hitting Robinson, who pounded it foul off his front foot. The count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. The Beavers do have a right-hander up beginning to throw.
That was a changeup that Robinson did a nice job just to get a piece because
he was fooled by it.
He was fooled.
Albert Robles is beginning to throw. Wyatt Queen's 3-2 pitch swung on and lifted foul to the left, and it remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Queen trying to fill up the zone. Yale's players arrive and are looking on in the right field corner. Yale and Oregon at 5 o'clock. The winners meet tomorrow at 6. On the winner's side, the teams that are vanquished today, 1 o'clock here tomorrow. Max Hartman at third, Matt Priest at first, nobody out. Queen's 3-2 pitch, pulled fair down the right field line into the corner. Max Hartman will score. Adam Haight plays the ball back in. Into second base goes Dustin Robinson. The Cougars lead at 3-2 on the RBI double for Robinson. Hartman scores, and the Cougs in control of the baseball game. Up 3-2 in the 8th with a beautiful opportunity for their standpoint to add on. Second and third, nobody out. And baseball with Rich Dorman coming out of the dugout to make a pitching change. The lead created by the ability of Dustin Robinson to get a piece of that changeup and keep the at-bat alive. Queen thought he'd executed the out pitch. And instead, Robinson keeps the AB alive, and the Cougs in control, 3-2, second and third, nobody out in the 8th inning. So Coach Dorman will go to the bullpen and bring in his dude. It ain't a save situation by any stretch of the imagination. Albert Robles hopes that it could end up being a win situation, but he's got work to do, as do the Beavs, as Washington State gets its first lead of the day, and it comes in the 8th inning. A run in, second and third, nobody out, 3-2 Cougs, with a call to the bullpen presented by Wilson Equipment going out in Eugene on the Beavers Sports Network from Learfield.
Blue Sun Inc. Employment Services is your local nonprofit dedicated to providing employment opportunities to veterans and those facing physical and economic challenges within our community. Founded by a veteran in 2013, Blue Sun Inc. has helped more than 2,500 people find employment opportunities, resulting in more than $21 million in net wages going back to the local economy. To learn more about Blue Sun Inc. and how you can help provide employment opportunities, please visit BlueSunInc.com. Blue Sun Inc. Employment Services, proud to partner with Oregon State Athletics. Go Beavs!
Hey, Beaver Nation! Experience the best of Alaska with Holland America, the Alaska vacation experts. They've been sharing the wonders of the Great Lands since before it was even a state. Cruise a round trip from Seattle, no flights, no fuss, just Alaska right from your doorstep. Experience stunning ice blue glaciers guaranteed. Plus, look for humpback whales and brown bears with the cruise line that's #1 in Alaska wildlife and wilderness tours. Savor the journey with Holland America, the official cruise line of Oregon State University Athletics. Go Beavs!
Well, yeah, that's about all. 3-2 Cougs in the 8th with runners at second and third and nobody out. The picture in terms of the elements and the weather brightening up just a bit. We've had some pretty heavy sprinkles and drizzle that have affected the mound. And for the second time today, the grounds crew here at PK Park has been summoned onto the field to try to rake in some diamond dry in the landing area in front of the pitching slab. So while that goes on, we bring you back in to PK Park, where Washington State, a red-hot team, and there is something to that, Jimmy. They played last weekend and took 3 of 4 in the Mountain West Conference tournament and have won their last 6 straight weekend series and 7 of their last 8. So they're a confident bunch, and they knew they had their best guy going today, and Nick Lewis, who has been virtually unbeatable down the stretch of the season. They've given him a lead of 3-2, and for Robles and the Beavers right here, it feels like the ball game, and the chances for the Beavs kind of sits on, can you keep the damage at 1 and keep it a 1-run ball game?
You said it's not a save opportunity, and it's not statistically, but it is very much a save. He has to save this inning for Oregon State. If he can keep it here, which is going to be a tall order, that's obviously the best case scenario. But just even if you hold them just to 1 more, I think Oregon State still has a fighter's chance. If they can manage to plate both of them, it's going to be a real uphill climb against Nick Lewis.
We'll see a pinch runner coming in for Matt Priest. Priest with a base hit to left on a hit and run play. Some really aggressive choices made by Eric Hutting, and they have paid off a couple of times today. Mason Pirello, another former Medford Rogue. Mason Pirello is a pinch runner now for Matt Priest and takes over as the runner at third base here in the top of the 8th, with the Cougars leading the Beavers 3-2. Runners at second and third and nobody out. And Ryan Shawnsby will be intentionally walked to get to the right-hand hitter, Ollie Obenauer. And, Jimmy, that's a sound move to create a double play opportunity, bring a right-handed hitter and Obenauer against the right-hander Robles. And gives the Beavers an opportunity to get a force at the plate. Another run is huge, obviously, as good as Nick Lewis has been today and all year. Bases loaded, nobody out after the intentional walk. Robles' year has been sensational. He's making his 23rd appearance, 2-1, an ERA of 1.67, 14 saves, 47 strikeouts in 27 innings. Obenauer the batter, Robles to the plate, slider for a strike, and the count 0-1. If you find your way through this without another run on the board, the Beaver dugout, Beaver Nation, will flip a sense of momentum and feel if Robles and company can do it.
With 6 outs to work with offensively. And Robles has gotten out of some crazy jams this year.
Trying to do it again. The strike one pitch a little bit low, and the count 1-1. The Cougars have scored a run to take their first lead of the day, and they have the bases loaded with nobody out in the 8th, up 3-2. With Pirello at third, Robinson at second, Shawnsby at first, Robles at the belt. Good fastball on the 1-1 pitch on the inside corner for strike 2 to Obenauer, who has been up 3 times and struck out 3 times. Wyatt Queen got him to end a tough situation in the 6th. Bases loaded, nobody out. 1-2 to Obenauer. Robles kicks and comes to the plate. Check swing and a fastball up and in. No swing. Galloway asked. It wasn't close. And the count even. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Because if it was close, they had to rung him up.
Yes, the track record would indicate as much. Bases loaded for the Cougs with nobody out. The Beavers infield at double play depth. It's a choice to try to minimize damage, but another run would score even if you turn 2. The 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed at the fastball. Strike 3, 1 away. And now if you turn 2, they don't add on. So that's a huge strikeout. Cam McLeod, the scheduled hitter. We may see a pinch hitter here. I think we're going to. In fact, Eric Hutting has sent a left-handed hitter to the plate to bat for McLeod, who came in hitting 198. Dane Chavez, a left-hand hitting freshman out of Kennewick, will be the batter as a pinch hitter. Chavez, 243 with no homers and 8 runs batted in. Big strikeout for Robles, the double play in order to get you out of further trouble. The Cougs have scored a run and lead it 3-2 in the 8th.
I think he's going to bunt, Mike, at some point.
To Chavez, he's not showing, and he takes a fastball high, ball 1-0.
5 sacrifice hits on the year.
Yeah, that would be a sound stratagem to be sure.
It's got to be a good bunt, obviously, with the force at the plate.
Bases loaded, 1 out. Chavez not bunting, takes a strike. Maybe with a strike, they're going to make him throw one before they put it on, perhaps. 1 ball and 1 strike with the bases loaded, 1 out. 3-2 Cougs in the 8th.
Kind of playing on house money. It's critical for them as well, but they already have the lead.
The 1-1 pitch, again not bunting, and the breaking ball is in the turf. Ball 2, 2-1.
Same scenario where strikeout, infield pop-up, but here a double play obviously works.
Bases loaded, 1 out, 3-2 Cougs in the 8th. The 2-1 pitch is slashed foul into the netting above the Cougar dugout, and that runs the count to 2-2. Kyler Northrup, the right-hand hitting shortstop, on deck. Gigantic situation for Robles and the Beavers, trying to keep the damage at 1 and flip momentum tremendously in this one. Bases loaded, 1 away. The Cougars have forged their first lead. Robles pointing in, saying something to his battery mate or someone, comes 2-2, slider taken, strike 3 called, 2 down.
Very surprised to see Chavez stand by and not put a swing on it. I mean, it was a breaking ball, but goodness sakes alive. What a job by Robles.
Yeah, great pitch.
Bases loaded, no outs, and he strikes out a couple.
Now he still has work to do with Kyler Northrup, the batter. He was signaling or indicating something, and Kevin Sweeney, after the strikeout, went out and talked to Albert. Any idea?
I don't.
You don't see that too often.
No, and in this day and age with the clock and this and that, and maybe he was one of those deals where, like, you got to get that eye contact from the hitter. He's waiting for that.
Kyler Northrup steps in, pops it up on the left side. Paul Vasquez calling and waiting and makes the catch. And you can hear it from Beaver Nation and the Beavers dugout. Yes, the Cougars take the lead, but listen to this crowd at PK Park.
You called it, Mike. You said if they get out of this, they're going to come in and the dugout's going to be out there greeting them as if they won the game, and that's exactly the way it feels.
The Cougars are in pretty good position to get a win given how their guy's going. Nick Lewis has been brilliant, but they had a chance to give him more than a 1-run lead, and Albert Robles with another great escape. Bases loaded, nobody out, strikes out 2, gets a pop-up, and you can hear Beaver Nation getting into it on this Friday afternoon at the Eugene Regional. To the bottom of the 8th we go. The Cougars 3, the Beavers 2 on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Join us for the opening weekend of the Division I NCAA Baseball Championship as we bring you all the action on Learfield's Regional Rundown Show. From foul pole to foul pole, we'll cover every game with live play-by-play, highlights, and scores as they happen all weekend long. Live on the free Varsity Network app, join our crew starting Friday, May 29th as we go game to game across the 16 regional sites. Slide headfirst into the Regional Rundown exclusively on the Varsity Network app.
Play ball! Cuts. Looking for the perfect place to host your next event? The Alumni Center at Oregon State is Corvallis' top event venue, with flexible spaces for gatherings of 1 to over 1,000, from weddings and conferences to reunions and tailgates. We've got the space, the tech, and the team to make it seamless for every occasion. Located on campus, we offer high-quality amenities at a competitive price. Visit fororegonstate.org/center and book your event today. That's fororegonstate.org/center.
For all things college baseball, including live games and talk, tune in to Sirius XM College Sports Radio. That's channel 84. And streaming on the Sirius XM app. Bottom of the 8th inning, 3-2 Cougars. And on a certain level, that's good news because the Cougs have scored a run. And a couple of different times, Jim, they have scored a run. The tying run to make it a 2-2 ball game occurred. And first and second, nobody out, and the Beavers minimized damage. Here, the trouble was even worse. The go-ahead run had scored, bases loaded, nobody out, and Albert Robles gets out of it. And now 3-2 Cougs as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. A new catcher, Noah Thine in, working with Nick Lewis. The first pitch to Easton Talt, high and away, ball 1. Lewis hasn't struck at anybody. He hasn't walked anybody. His 1-0 pitch to Talt is down and away for ball 2. 2-0. Lewis about to make his 80th pitch of the day. He has been magnificent. He has a 1-run lead in the 8th. The 2-0 pitch to Talt. Easton was taking all the way. Takes a strike. Easton is grounded out, flied out, and had a sacrifice fly for the lead back in the 5th.
85-mile-an-hour fastball.
The 2-1 pitch to Talt. Lifted foul to the left and out of play. So really a great job by Lewis, young man out of the South line. He's 2-0. Yeah, okay, hasn't walked anybody. Maybe now's the time. And he just smoothly comes back, fills up the zone, and he's at 2-2 on Talt, leading off the bottom of the 8th. The Beavers down a run. The 2-2 pitch is taken. Strike 3 called. So, nary a walk or a strikeout going into the at-bat, and I thought at first he might get one or the other, going 2-0, and he gets one, and it's a strikeout.
It's the wrong one. I thought it was a good pitch.
Yeah.
Easton didn't like it.
I agree with you. One away, and A.J. Singer, the batter. The only freebie that Lewis, who has been John Tudor-esque, comes to the plate to Singer was A.J. hit by a pitch back in the first. That's it. He delivers a first pitch strike here. 0-1 the count. 3-2 Cougs in the bottom of the 8th. The Beavs were hoping to parlay the momentum generated by Robles' great escape into getting their leadoff man on, but now there's likely to be 2 quick outs. Singer a drive. No! It carries over the head of the center fielder, Trevor Smith. And into second base goes A.J. Singer with a 1-out double. He smoked it to center. And the Beavers have the tying run at second with 1 out, and Ethan Porter coming to the plate. That ball flew on Smith. I thought Trevor was going to catch it when it left Singer's bat.
I thought he was going to catch it, but I also thought it had a chance to get over his head because I knew how hard it was hit, but I just didn't know this park has been playing big. And there is a lot of room. It feels like it's not that deep, but it feels like there's a lot of room in that outfield. And the ball got just over Smith's head in center.
The tying run, A.J. Singer at second. Ethan Porter takes down and away. Ball 1, a little bit of a flinch. by home plate umpire Kevin Sweeney. Ball 1. Porter hit a ball off the middle of the fence back in the third inning.
In left field. And the Beavers scored a run in the second on back-to-back doubles. That would be a good approach.
The 1-0 pitch to Porter, a strike, and the count 1-1. Ethan has flied to right, doubled to left, and tried to bunt for a hit and bunted out.
Gosh, just change up. It's just, that's been really what has been the great equalizer for Lewis.
3-2 Cougars, bottom of the eighth. Singer at second with one out. The 1-1 pitch to Ethan. Away, ball 2, 2-1. The count can make a difference in that Vasquez got a 3-1 pitch and doubled. Porter has worked it to a 2-1 pitch. This guy's tough, but Porter does have a hitter's count with Singer at second and one out. The 2-1 pitch is up and away. Ball 3, 3-1. Josh Proctor on deck, and the Cougs do have some activity going in their bullpen. Right-hander August Ritchie throwing, and again, a good hitter's count.
Going to be a changeup, though.
Porter hoping to do damage as Singer hops away from second. The 3-1 pitch is a strike on the change. Really good pitch. And Porter, in a sense, okay, yeah. I mean, he might have been thinking along with you. He got the change. Yeah. Now it's 3-2. Do you expect it again?
Well, that's the thing is now, who knows? But that 3-1 to me was a sure bet.
The 3-2 pitch to Porter. Ground ball to second. Gavin Roy looks it in and throws to first. 2 down.
Well hit ball, though.
Yeah, hit sharply. 2 away. Singer scoots to third. The tying run 90 feet away. Josh Proctor, the batter.
And this is going to be a change-up fest as well. And if it's even Lewis, I just don't see a world where you take him out right here.
I don't either. But Nathan Choate is walking out there. Lewis is at 90 pitches. You have a left-hander in Lewis and the powerful Josh Proctor at the plate, whom Nathan Choate remembers doing big damage at Bailey Brayton Field in the first week in April. I don't think he's going to take him out.
No,
I mean, he's out there
I
for
think
a
this is actually a good matchup for Lewis because Proctor is not, the changeup is not really Proctor's thing. But Proctor did drive a ball deep to right center in this park earlier. I believe that was in the third inning.
Yes, he did. He flied out to center in his last at-bat. He's 0 for 3. But the Beavers do have a guy. They have a dude at the plate that can give you one swing and the lead. Down 3-2 in the bottom of the eighth inning. Ryan Gibson, the Beavers hitting coach, third base coach, takes a timeout and visits with Proctor here. A.J. Singer is the tying run 90 feet away. 3-2 Cougars in the eighth. Nick Lewis has made 90 pitches. He has been outstanding today. But the Beavers do have a matchup here now with the one guy who coming in 15 for his last 30. 9-game hitting streak for Josh. During the streak, he's been red hot. And also had a huge game, his biggest game of the year, against the Cougs in Pullman back in April. The first pitch on the way to Josh, inside with a fastball. Ball 1, 1-0.
A lot of people have had a lot of big days in Pullman. That is a very good place to hit.
You hit 4 homers in a doubleheader there once, is that true?
Yeah, then when did Travis hit, I think.
He hit 3 in one game when he broke your record 2 years ago.
The wind usually blows, the ball carries anyway, you're kind of higher elevation, and the wind usually blows left to right, and that's a hitter's dream, a right-handed hitter's dream.
The 1-0 pitch to Proctor fouled away. 3-2 Cougs, bottom of the eighth. A.J. Singer at third, 2 down. Lewis delivers to Proctor, a fly ball to right field. Max Hartman is there to make the catch. The inning is over. The Beavers got a 1-out double from Singer, and they don't get him in against Jamie Moyer. Nick Lewis. We go to the ninth. The Cougars 3, the Beavers 2 on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
Pacific Power is proud to support Oregon State athletics by providing the safe, reliable energy that lights our campus, keeps our laptops charged, and powers opportunities every day. From the classroom to the weight room, from groundbreaking research labs to Golf Stadium, Pacific Power is always there to help propel our students and our community forward. Pacific Power, powering your greatness. Let's go Beavs!
Wilson Equipment, your authorized Bobcat dealer in Western Oregon, has exactly what you need. We offer a wide selection to keep your operation running smoothly. Plus, our industry-leading customer service ensures you get the support you need when you need it. Right now, you can drive home a new compact loader with financing as low as 0% for 48 months, or enjoy rebates up to $10,000. As proud sponsors of OSU Athletics Celebrate Ag, we're cheering loud for the Beavers. Go Beavs! Visit Wilson Equipment in Medford, Eugene, and Salem today. Terms and conditions apply. Visit wilsonequipment.net for details.
Samaritan Health Services, trusted by Beaver Nation with expert specialty care across orthopedics, cancer care, and more, all close to home. Our thanks to Samaritan Health Services. Top of the ninth inning at PK Park in the Eugene Regional, where the Beavers trail the Cougars 3-2. Albert Robles swung the momentum into the Beavers camp with his brilliant Houdini act in the eighth. Bases loaded, nobody out, trailing 3-2. And Robles struck out two and induced an inning-ending pop fly. Now needs to keep it here with a clean slate and has to go to work all over again to the top of the order to Trevor Smith. The first pitch to the Cougs leadoff hitter, a strike, and the count 0-1. Trevor has walked, struck out, fouled out, and been hit by a pitch. 3-2 Cougars, top of the ninth inning. The Beavers with Tyler in shifted over to the right side of the diamond. The six hole wide open for Smith, who swings and doesn't get it. And Robles quickly ahead, 0-2. The top of the order up for the Cougs, Trevor Smith, Gavin Roy, and Max Hartman. When the Beavers bat in the bottom of the ninth, Adam Haight, Paul Vasquez, and Jacob Galloway, the scheduled hitters. August Ritchie has stopped throwing in the Cougar bullpen. The Beavers have their closer in. The strike two pitch is swung out and missed for strike three. And Robles has faced four, retired four, one away, and Gavin Roy coming up. Big Jim, I'm glad I get a chance to ask you. What is it about Robles?
That's what I was just thinking. Is his ball invisible? You asked, we talked earlier about Ramon Martinez. A batter, right-hander against a right-hander. When he threw a fastball on the outside part of the plate, it would get lost. It would just, because it had that movement and that bend, you just couldn't see it for a split second. So that's the things you'll never know just by watching from somewhere else other than at bat, is some of that deception. And he does have that over-the-top thing. And I see these guys, they swing and miss. It's like there's got to be a deception that we can't pick up from where we're at.
The 1-0 pitch to Gavin Roy, high and away, ball 2-0. Top of the ninth inning, 3-2 Cougars. Robles is not in a save situation. We talked about trying to pitch himself into a win situation. One out, nobody on. The 2-0 pitch to Gavin Roy, a strike, and the count 2-1. And speaking of that disappearing ball from the other side, Jimmy, I'm sure you noted, we all delighted. Brandon Eisert called back up and getting the job done with the Chicago White Sox at the major league level. Really happy for Brandon. They're having a good year, and Brandon has had 3 or 4 good outings in a row. The 2-1 pitch is fouled back, and the count 2-2. He's a guy you described as having that kind of disappearing ball, too.
And that was from the booth. We said it. It looked like anytime he would throw a fastball to the outside corner to a right-handed hitter, it's like he just handed it off. And the hitters just never seemed to hit it. He got more strikes on the outside half to a right-hander, just takes.
The 2-2 pitch hit foul off to the right and out of play by Gavin Roy. We're in the top of the ninth, 3-2 Cougs, one out, nobody on.
You mentioned at 10, ex-Beavers in the major leagues. I think Nick Madrigal was called up yesterday or recently.
To the White Sox.
Yeah, just Conforto, Wong, Bazana, Larnick.
Wade Meckler. Adley Rutschman, not bad.
Yeah.
Slider just outside, and I mean just. And the count goes full 3-2, and Beaver Nation pretty upset about not getting the call there. Three balls and 2 strikes, 1 out in the top of the 9th. Gavin Roy has an important walk in this ball game. It came back in the 6th, and he gets another one here with a pitch not close, 3-2. A 1-out free pass to Roy. The Beavers have pitched well, Jimmy, but there have been a few too many of the freebies here today. With that walk, it's the 4th, one of them intentional, along with 4 hit batsmen.
And then 4 hit batsmen, yeah. So 8 free bases in a 3-2 game is going to find a way to factor in.
Nick Madrigal called up to the Angels, joining Wade Meckler. Too many big leaguers to keep track of for the Bees, but Madrigal and Meckler together at from Oregon State and now in the big leagues with the Angels. So happy for all of these great young men through the years of this incredible program. That is up against it here today. The first pitch to Max Hartman, a strike, 0-1 the count. 3-2 Cougars in the top of the 9th inning. Robles out of the stretch, and the veteran right-hander to the plate, high and away, ball 1. 1-1. Robles trying to keep it right here at 3-2, issuing a 1-out walk. Again, Haight, Vasquez, and Galloway, the scheduled hitters in the bottom of the 9th inning. Robles to the plate, changeup, swung on and missed.
And then Jacob Craig, I believe, is next.
Yeah.
And I think that's the battle cry, is get Craig to the plate. I mean, you'd like to score a run before that or what have you, but if if he's at the plate, that means there's a runner on. If it stays here, a 1-run game, he's for the win.
The 1-2 pitch, goodness gracious, a wild pitch. Jacob Galloway chases the ball down, and to second base on the wild pitch goes Gavin Roy. And I say goodness gracious, Jimmy, only because another run, and you know what I mean. Now you got a guy in scoring position.
Then Jacob Craig's playing for the tie.
right, exactly, to complete the thought.
And I don't know why I'm just fixated on Craig in the inning. There's going to be 3 hitters before we get there.
Because Jacob being inserted into the lineup, the whole idea was sort of created in a sense where we think it's a good matchup for him today, the conditions in the ballpark and so on, to get a big fly. The pitch on the way to Hartman pulled deep and foul well out of the ballpark. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out, and Gavin Roy at second representing a gigantic run, and he walked and scored in the 6th. The 1-out walk here in the 9th, trying to score again. Robles from the stretch. Albert comes to the plate with a 2-2 pitch pulled down the right field line, foul. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Good change up from Robles. It had Hartman out front, but Hartman did a good job with his bat, finding the barrel of the bat but out front of it and pulling it foul.
Hartman, left-handed hitter, struck out and hit by a pitch, single to center, single to right. He scored 2 of the 3 runs for the Cougs, who lead it 3-2 in the 9th. Robles delivers high and inside, ball 3, 3-2.
Pitch didn't miss that bad inside, but I think Jacob Galloway had set up outside. And it looks, he had to reach all the way across for a pitch. It wasn't that bad.
Matt Priest on deck. Robles ready. The 3-2 pitch is fouled just above our vantage point and settling into the netting.
Right
it's
in front
tantalizing.
of me.
This is the closest I've come here and actually sat in the John Conrad press box before. Been in the concourse the last 5 years. But this is the closest I've ever seen a foul ball in the netting right in front of us. Robles ready. The 3-2 pitch. Slider taken. Strike 3 called. 2 down. Boy, that's a nasty pitch. The Beaver pitchers thus have combined to strike out 12, and that means it's a big day at McDonald's tomorrow. The Beavers with 10 or more strikeouts means if you use the McDonald's app tomorrow, you get a free Egg McMuffin with a minimum $2 purchase. Beaver Baseball proudly supported by your locally owned and operated McDonald's restaurants.
And Mike, I think we're probably closer to about 15 on the strikeouts.
Well, I'll have to double check on it. We'll do that right now. Thank you, Jimmy. Too many strikeouts to keep track of, as are Major League Baseball players. The first pitch to Matt Priest, the right-handed hitter, and you're right, it is up to 15. Where they all go, I know not. But that was a beautiful slider for the called third. Now Priest with a count of 1-0. Gavin Roy at second, 2 down, top of the ninth. 3-2 Cougars. 15 punch-outs for Kleinschmidt, Queen, and Robles. Fastball high, ball 2. 2-0. Priest has had himself a good ball game. Hit by a pitch in the first, struck out in the fourth, an RBI single in the sixth, and another base hit in the eighth. Gavin Roy representing a huge run out at second for the Cougs in the ninth. The 2-0 pitch is high, ball 3, 3-0.
But I believe this is the pinch runner, Morello.
Oh, thank you. Yes, it is. Mason Pirello. And a guy that, in the 4-hole, and Robles hasn't thrown him a strike. He hopes to change that here with a count of 3-0. And does the count 3-1. Pirello getting his first at-bat of the regional. 265 hitter with a homer and 17 runs batted in.
He certainly wants to deal with Pirello as opposed to the guy on deck, a left-handed hitter, Justice Robinson.
The 3-1 pitch, fastball, swung on and missed to Pirello, and the count goes full to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Pirello's parents both graduated from Washington State back in 1990. Beaver Nation again rising and cheering on Albert Robles with the Beavers trailing 3-2. The 3-2 pitch sails outside for ball 4. Nicely done by Pirello to draw the 2-out walk, and that means Robles does have to cope with the left-hand hitting Dustin Robinson, who had the RBI double down the line last inning to give the Cougars the lead at 3-2.
Both of the walks this inning, that full count pitch was just
not
well off the plate.
2 on, 2 out, 3-2 Washington State in the ninth. The pitch to Robinson just inside, ball 1, 1-0.
Boy, I thought that might have been a strike.
Now, Rich Dorman is coming out of the Beavers bullpen, dugout, pardon me, and looking into the pen. There's no one throwing him, and the Beavers have their man in, the outstanding closer in Albert Robles. And what do you think a visit like this is intended? It change things up, get Albert back on track. He's thrown 2 walks in the inning. He's got a tough hitter at the plate.
I think it's just a reset. Just go out there and they just say, hey, look, and just get back to being Albert Robles, because he sort of, the 2 walks in itself is news. I mean, what are his strikeout to walk? The walks in the single digits coming into the game, I believe.
Robles, we talked about, gave you his strikeout numbers coming into this outing, 27 with 8 walks in 27 innings and 47 strikeouts.
Just the fact that he walks a couple, that's sort of not Albert Robles.
Trying to return to form with a 1-0 pitch on the way to Robinson. Fastball, and Robinson helped Albert a little bit there, going after a pitch that would have been ball 2. Swings and misses, the count 1-1.
Good break for Robles to get the high fastball to induce Robinson to swing.
Gavin Roy at second, Mason Pirello at first, 2 down, top of the ninth, 3-2 Cougs. Robles delivers, change, swung on and missed, and the count 1-2, and Robles is a strike away from bringing the Beavers to the plate, down a run. The right-hander, Ritchie, who was up last inning, beginning to throw again here, but I think Nick Lewis is going to be trotting back out there. We'll see. 1-2 the count. Robles ready. Kicks and comes. Swung on and missed. Strike 3 to retire the side. Robles does it again and gives the Beavers again a jolt of life going to the bottom of the ninth inning. But the Beavers need a run. The Cougs leave 2, and at the end of 8.5, Washington State 3, the Beavers 2, and it is Nick Lewis who will try to throw his second complete game of the year. 3-2 Cougs. To the bottom of the ninth we go on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield.
For more than a century. As stewards of Oregon's forest, we understand that every decision we make can impact the health of our communities, our forests, and all the wildlife that depend on it. Through our long-standing leadership on sustainable forestry, we're committed to ensuring our forests thrive on a continuous cycle, today and for future generations of Oregonians. Learn more at wi.com. Go Beavs!
Como en un doble play perfecto, tu trabajo se sincronizó con el resto de tu cuadrilla en la construcción. Pero, ¿por qué conseguir un cuidado infantil adecuado es la parte más difícil? Presentamos Cuidado Infantil para los trabajadores de la construcción. Ayudamos a los aprendices y nuevos obreros registrados a pagar el cuidado infantil, con un proveedor licenciado o un familiar aprobado por el Estado. Llama a Diana Meléndez al 971-235-0694. ¡Go Beavs!
Bottom of the ninth inning, the Beavers trailing 3-2. Nick Lewis has gone all the way and has made 93 pitches. A career high of 123, so one assumes he's got plenty left, and he has been brilliant. He hasn't walked a batter. He struck out only one.
You can do it a lot of different ways. Oregon State has struck out 16 Washington State Cougars. The Cougar pitchers have struck out one Beaver, and yet the Cougars have the 3-2 lead heading into the ninth, and Lewis gets kind of a favorable call here in strike one.
The first pitch to Adam Hay to strike, 0-1 the count. Adam, a solid single to center, and his last at-bat takes low. The count 1-1. August Ritchie, a right-hander, was throwing some last inning. He's up at the beginning of the inning in the bottom of the ninth. The Cougars 3 outs away from advancing to tomorrow night's winner's side game. Adams swings and hits one foul off to the right and out of play. 1-2 the count to Haid, who's grounded to third, grounded to short, and laced a single to center field. One of the better hit balls of the day by the Beavers back in the sixth inning. Adam Haid, the batter. Paul Vasquez on deck. 3-2 Cougs. Bottom of the ninth. He hits this one sharply, but right at shortstop, Kyler Northrup, who throws across to first for the out. One away in the bottom of the ninth inning. If the Beavers don't rally, they play at 1 o'clock tomorrow against either Yale or Oregon. We'd be on the air at 12:30, and the Beavers in the double elimination format would obviously be up against it for the rest of the weekend. But they still have 2 outs remaining them today, and Paul Vasquez, who has doubled and twice flied to center, coming to the plate, hoping to get a mistake pitch perhaps from Lewis, get a pitch he can drive, and with one swing, turn this thing around. Instead, he hits a ground ball fair up along third. The throw to first in time, 2 down. Beavers are down to their final out, and Nick Lewis and the Cougs an out away. Vasquez a first pitch out. Paul is hanging around. I think he wanted perhaps Mitch and the Bees to consider challenging the call, and the Beavers will.
Yeah,
I think he's out, though.
Yeah, he's out. Really interesting defensive play by Obenauer, who caught the ball, had plenty of time to set his feet and throw. Instead, was called for a traveling violation and threw off 1 foot.
Right.
But I think he did get the ball there in time.
I agree. Cole Watterson has taken over out in left field for Washington State. The Beavers are down to their final out, although Vasquez is standing on first base, hopefully, with 2 outs and nobody out, and the Cougars leading 3-2. And Jim, if you don't get a run off this guy, you just tip the cap to this guy. I mean, it's an incredibly good outing for Nick Lewis.
Nick Lewis, the pitcher.
Here comes the quick review.
On April 2nd, he lost to San Jose State. His record was 3-2 with a 5.04 ERA. From that point forward, he's won every start and has just been on an absolute roll.
Yeah, he's out. There's no doubt about it. The Beavers roll.
Yeah, but it's a good challenge.
They're out of challenge.
I mean, what are you going to do? Take your challenge to the dugout, and it was close.
It was.
And part of the equation there is Vasquez is asking for it.
Yeah.
And so, you know, if you're the coach and your kid's saying it and you're down to your last out, okay.
Jacob Craig on deck. And the sheer delight for the Beavers would be to get the big man to the plate. If so, that he would represent the winning run. Jacob Craig looks at a breaking ball strike. But first things first, the Beavers need to get somebody on. 2 outs, nobody on, bottom of the 9th inning. The Beavers trailing 3-2. Jacob Galloway, an RBI double in the second, has since lined to right, grounded to short. The strike one pitch to Galloway, chopped foul. The Beavers are down to their final strike. 0-2 the count to Jacob Galloway with Jacob Craig on deck. Cougar fans beside themselves.
Yeah.
They are up. They're ready to celebrate. They're a strike away from doing so, and the Beavers will be up against a tough road the rest of the way unless Galloway can get on and keep hope alive. The strike 2 pitch, a ground ball foul back at first. The count remains. No balls and 2 strikes, 2 down, bottom of the 9th, 3-2 Cougs. And just not enough offense, clearly, again, today for the Bees. And the pitching a little bit off here and there with freebies and an unearned run. And baseball's a tough game. Galloway trying to keep this resilient Beaver team alive today with a 2-out way to first base some way, somehow. Nick Lewis's strike 2 pitch is in the turf, ball 1-2. You just like to see Craig get a shot, wouldn't you?
Well, we're talking about that, you know, like almost a full inning ago, looking all the way ahead. But boy, they've just gone so fast here in the bottom half with the first 2 quick outs.
Very little pressure have the Beavs put on Lewis all day. The 1-2 pitch popped up to center field. Coming in on the ball is Trevor Smith. He's there, makes the catch. Nick Lewis goes all the way, beats the Beavers in the Eugene Regional, retiring the Beavers in order in the 9th. The Cougars take game 1 of the Eugene Regional and will play either Yale or Oregon tomorrow. It's a bitter and miserable note for the Beavers and Beaver Nation. They don't have any wiggle room left. They got to win them all the rest of the way. Great job by Nick Lewis and the Cougs. Nick Lewis shuts down the Beavers with a complete game victory, 3-2 Washington State. Our postgame show coming up on the Beaver Sports Network from Learfield. In Beaver Nation, baseball isn't just a game, it's a legacy. From the first pitch at Goss Stadium to the final out in Omaha, OSU fans show up with pride. And now there's a new